Episode of Free Talk Live, brought to you by Freekeen.com. Listen live at freetalklive.com.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, August 9th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,216 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,270. Antiwar.com reports in comments on Tuesday, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert called on Russia to withdraw its military entirely from the two breakaway republics of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. The U.S. does not recognize the region's independence. The comments come 10 years after the brief Russo-Georgian War, during which Georgia attempted to attack South Ossetia, ending up fighting Russian troops therein and fairly quickly losing. In the aftermath, Russia recognized the independence of both countries. Both South Ossetia and Abkhazia have historical reasons for not considering themselves part of Georgia, despite nominally being part of the Georgian Soviet Socialist Republic during the Soviet era. The Georgians, however, never recognized this, and to the extent that Russia has, the U.S. has taken the opposite position. The regions are a long problem for Georgia, which has ambitions for joining NATO. NATO clearly would never accept anyone as a member state who has existing territorial disputes with Russia and accuses Russia of occupying parts of its territory, since this would mean an immediate NATO-Russia war. The State Department insists they support Georgia's territorial integrity, as including those regions, and to the extent that continues, it follows that Georgia would never be able to advance toward accession into NATO. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports days after releasing an upbeat earnings report that included a rare jump in attendance and earnings. Orlando, Florida-based SeaWorld announced its plans to eliminate 125 positions. SeaWorld Entertainment said Tuesday the positions, some of which are currently vacant, will be cut across the company. Spokesman Travis Clater described the layoffs as being part of a restructuring program to better position it for continued growth and financial success. He added, for those employees who will be impacted by this restructure, we are offering several benefits and transition assistance. We remain committed to providing our guests with inspiring experiences that matter and to continuing the world-class care for all our animals, including animal rescue, rehabilitation, and ocean conservation efforts. Despite the layoffs, SeaWorld offered a rare positive outlook for one of the first time since 2013. The net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the New York City Council on Wednesday agreed to cap the number of licenses for ride-hailing services such as Uber and Lyft for 1 year, dealing a blow to the companies that have relied on the largest U.S. metro area for a major source of their revenue. The first such cap by any major U.S. city was part of a package of measures that also included setting a minimum wage for drivers. The package, opposed by major ride-hailing companies, is aimed at reducing traffic congestion and increasing driver paychecks in the wake of the explosive growth for for-hire vehicles. The drop in incomes has demoralized many drivers, and the New York Taxi Workers Alliance said there have been 6 suicides among cab and livery drivers in recent months. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio said he intends to sign the bill into law, which would start the 12-month period where no new for-hire vehicle licenses would be issued, with the exception for wheelchair-accessible vehicles. Via, which operates shared rides with established stops, hopes the city will make an exception for carpools, which it says reduces congestion and provides drivers with the most money. In an email to nearly 5 million New Yorkers last month, Uber said riders would face higher prices, longer wait times, and less service in the city's outer suburbs by drivers. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
After this morning's police raid on Cosmopolitan magazine's male pleasure laboratory revealed that test subjects were forced to endure horrific abuses and inhumane living conditions, Onion reporters spoke to 23-year-old Daniel Chertok, one of the numerous men exploited for the monthly magazine's studies on erotic stimulation.
It was awful. They drove us wild for days on end. Once they made me lather myself with gallons of sexy bath oils, and then read thousands of racy text messages until my eyesight began to blur. Then for the next 12 hours, they blasted sultry songs into my ears and made me simulate 50 crazy hot sex moves. They said I couldn't rest until they found the bliss button on my randy regions.
According to Chertok, test subjects were often subjected to hours of grueling experimentation at the hands of female scientists. Chertok added that many of his fellow subjects were not lucky enough to survive the excruciating treatment.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live. And, well, yeah, it's one of those things.
Little pregnant pause there, Daryl.
It was, and I had like 5 different things that I wanted to say, and none of them wanted to.
Which one am I
out.
going to use? Should I use this one? Should I use this one? But instead, we in radio call that dead air. But there wasn't much of it. It was a millisecond.
There was the music, so it wasn't completely.
It wasn't dead air. It was wounded air.
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. But you are free to join us live and talk. Because that's what the show is. Free Talk Live. And if you're not talking, that's not good.
Then we have that dead air problem.
Yeah.
But we're not going to have that tonight, Daryl. We're going to have good phone calls. We're going to have interesting stories.
We do have some interesting stories. Chris, you've got one about the West Virginia State House apparently voted to impeach the entire Supreme Court.
I call that a good start.
But before we get to that, let's start in, well, a place that should probably be impeached, New York City. And I don't know how you impeach an entire city, but can we figure out a way to do it?
I think we strongly support New York City's secession from the United States. I think I am 100% behind this secession movement that may not even exist, but I am encouraging people out there that if you want to run your particular city like a socialist hellhole, then secession is the right thing for you.
See, I thought you were talking more along the lines of a forced secession, which is what happened to Singapore back in, what was it, 1965?
I was one year old, Daryl, so no, I don't remember that one.
Yeah, like today is the anniversary of Singapore's forced independence.
Oh, so that's why you would know that today.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
it popped
that
up
makes
in
sense.
my Facebook memories where I had shared something a few years ago about, oh yes, this is the independent state of the only country that was ever forced to be independent. And the scenario there was some kind of thing to where Malaysia didn't want Singapore in the country anymore, and they restructured the form of government. And Singapore, you're no longer part of us. Congratulations!
Yay, congratulations.
Yeah.
Do you ever look at your Facebook memories and think, wow, nobody ever posts stuff like this? I'm not saying I'm a unique person, but in my circle of friends, outside of sort of the liberty community, a lot of my friends would never even consider some of the ideas that I like to post, and I think people should at least consider things like secession.
Yes. So let's talk about why we're talking about forced secession of New York City, or possibly, just allowing them to secede if they want to. Not that either of us know of any secession movements for New York City to become a wholly independent place. I know that there's, some level of New York City seceding from the rest of New York State and becoming its own state.
Really?
Along with Long Island. Yes.
Huh. I thought it was everywhere else wanted to get away from New York City, but that's interesting.
I think it's a little of both.
So if you do this, we're not really going to complain too much if it's successful.
Yeah, let's jump into the story here. The New York City Council on Wednesday voted to cap the number of licenses for ride-hailing services such as Uber and Lyft, capping them for 1 year, dealing a blow to the companies that have relied on the largest U.S. metro area for a major source of revenue.
Unreal.
The first such cap by any major U.S. city was part of a package of measures that also includes setting a minimum wage for drivers.
So here's a word I'd like to use for this, a response. And I'll use it in a sentence.
All right.
Uber and Lyft are a response to excessive occupational licensing requirements by cities, states, and governments.
Yes.
To explain that, what that means is when you set the bar for entry so high that nobody can just be their own cab company. They can't say, you know what, I got a car, I don't have a job, I think I'll drive my car, I think I'll pick people up and I'll take them where they need to go for money. The licensing requirements in New York are insane. It will cost you, I'm guessing, millions of dollars to acquire a license company if you wanted to do as a
medallion.
License. Well, just say you wanted to start a new company.
Available.
So there's no medallion, so you can't just do what I just described.
Correct.
And if anybody's been to New York City and if anybody's ever waited on cabs or tried to hail cabs, it's not always the easiest thing to do. I've waited 10, 20, 30 minutes. So along comes this idea that people could just, sort of be their own contractors, drive their own cars and solve a problem, which is a lack of transportation that New York City has. Why? Because they have set the bar so high to get licensed.
The article from Reuters says the package, which was opposed by major ride-hailing companies, surprise, surprise, is aimed at reducing traffic congestion and increasing driver paychecks in the wake of the explosive growth of for-hire vehicles.
Oh, my God.
The drop in incomes, according to the New York Taxi Workers Alliance, is said to have demoralized many drivers, leading to 6 suicides among cab and livery drivers in recent months.
Livery,
what's the difference?
I think it's livery.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
It's one of those words that you only ever see in writing.
Because nobody ever talks about.
Yeah.
I think I need to get home, so let me find a livery driver.
Yes. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio has said he intends to sign the bill, which would start the 12-month period where no new for-hire vehicle licenses would be issued, with the exception of wheelchair-accessible vehicles. He said in a statement, this action will stop the influx of cars contributing to congestion, grinding our streets to a halt.
I'm sorry, I've been to Manhattan. This is not the Manhattan I remember at all. What I remember is waiting outside when it's cold, when it's raining, waiting 20 minutes to an hour for a cab. It's insane.
I can't say that I've ever tried to hire a cab when I've been in New York City, but the traffic is always ridiculous.
It's insane. My New York City experiences mostly predate Uber. So I was there before, and now I've been to other cities, not New York, because I don't go back to New York unless I have to, where Uber is such a great alternative, and that's what this is about. What this is government eliminating your choice. This is saying, no, you don't get to decide who you hire. You have to hire who we say you're allowed to hire, and that's it.
Right. And this piece of legislation seems to have the backing of the New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, as well as, and I forget the name of the union, but it's mentioned somewhere in this article, and they say that the number of ride-hailing vehicles operating in the city has jumped from about 12,600 in 2015 to 80,000 this year, according to that New York City Taxi and Limousine Commission, whereas 14,000 yellow cabs are currently in operation in the city.
What does that tell us? Does that tell us that we've got plenty of yellow cabs to go around?
No, it tells us that the cabs aren't doing a sufficient job.
Right. And
they're probably not doing a good job.
Right.
And they're probably charging too much.
Yes. Ding, ding, ding. You win, Daryl.
The effort to cap the services in New York, Uber's largest market, was opposed by Uber, Lyft, and Via. Via is a service that I had not heard of prior to reading this article. And they go into a little bit of detail later in the article about what Via is. Uber issued a statement saying the city's 12-month pause on new vehicle licenses will threaten one of the few reliable transportation options while doing nothing to fix the subways or ease congestion. Now, I forget what podcast I was listening to a couple of days ago, and there's more to this article from Reuters, but I was listening to a podcast a couple days ago where they were talking about some kind of proposal to remove the subways altogether and turn the current little tube things into streets for autonomous vehicles.
Okay. Sure. So how many millions of billions of dollars will that cost?
A bunch.
Yep.
855 450 free. This is Free Talk Live.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. Learn more at zencash.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Do you operate a retail business and are looking for a solution for point-of-sale cryptocurrency acceptance? It's never been easier thanks to AnyPay.global. There's no paperwork or approval process to open an account. If you already have a tablet, you're almost done. Just sign up at AnyPay.global, drop your personal crypto wallet addresses on the setup page, and then load the app. That's it. You're accepting cryptocurrency like Bitcoin and Dash at your store. Get started now at AnyPay.global. AnyPay.global.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
The Free State Project has reached its goal of 20,000 liberty lovers who've pledged to move to New Hampshire and get active to achieve liberty in our lifetime. Perhaps you're trying to figure out what part of New Hampshire should be your destination. If so, consider Keene. You'll find more than 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com. Keene is famous for its historic, publicity-generating activism, as well as being the liberty media capital of the world. It's home to freekeene.com, New Hampshire's destination for liberty activism, news, and opinion. For years, we've been compiling over 150 reasons to move to Keene at move.freekeene.com, where you'll learn about some of what's happening here and what makes Keene a great place to live. If you love liberty, you'll probably enjoy anywhere you end up in the Shire. But do your due diligence first. Please visit move.freekeene.com for the full list of over 150 reasons to move to Keene. That's move.freekeene.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
In Survivor Max 2, School Bites, Max must scavenge through a wasteland swarming with the undead. Desperate to find the medicine he needs, he discovers a community of survivors at his former school. Has he finally found the safe haven he's been looking for, or will he discover that school bites? Look for Survivor Max on Facebook, read reviews on Amazon, and read Chapter 1 at survivormax.com.
Help get LRN.FM into more ears. Visit promote.lrn.fm for a free bumper sticker, flyers, banners, graphics, and more. Promote.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That is the toll-free call-in line where you can call in and join us and bring up whatever is on your mind. Again, 855-450-3733. The us in studio tonight is Daryl.
And Chris.
And we're talking about New York City. Not because it's a wonderful place, but because, well, their city council decided to do something that, yeah, it doesn't really surprise me the New York City Council would do. They voted to put a cap on the number of licenses for ride-hailing services. We'll jump back into that story here in just a moment. But this November, I will be in New York City for a few days running the New York City Marathon. No, it's not going to take me a couple of days to run the marathon. I'm just going to be there couple days prior. That way I'm not, traveling in the night before, being all tired, etc. And I'm running as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization in the United States to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. 2018 has already been an extraordinary year for the Innocence Project and their clients, and they've already freed more innocent people in the past 12 months than in any year in the history of the Innocence Project, and they're gearing up to do even more. I'm raising funds for the Innocence Project. You can donate through run.freetalklive.com, and all of the money donated through run.freetalklive.com goes directly to the Innocence Project. I've already met the goal, the minimum goal that I need to secure the spot on Team Innocence Project. I'm currently at about $4,400. I would love to get to $5,000. Run.freetalklive.com. So jumping back into the article here from Reuters, again, the New York City Council has voted to cap the number of licenses for ride-hailing vehicles. The New York City Taxi and Limo Commission says that there's about 80,000 ride-hailing vehicles operating in the city compared to 14,000 yellow cabs. And Uber said that this is going to threaten one of the few reliable transportation options while doing nothing to fix the subways or to ease congestion. Lyft issued a statement saying these sweeping cuts to transportation will bring New Yorkers back to an era of struggling to get a ride, particularly for communities of color and those in the outer boroughs. Via, which operates shared rides with established stops, hopes the city will make an exception for carpools, which they say will reduce congestion and provide drivers with the most money.
Why aren't these good ideas? This is when I look to government officials and go, you're so not interested in addressing real problems. What you are interested in doing is protecting certain groups who face challenges in their employment, like really lousy taxi cab drivers.
Right. The taxis have a really good, strong union.
Right.
That has a lot of lobbying influence over the city council.
Right.
Whereas the drivers for Uber, Lyft, and this thing called Via that I had not ever heard of before.
Sounds like a good idea.
They don't necessarily have that organized lobbying effort behind them.
Right. So, again, this is a case of it's protectionism. It's trying to garner votes through policy. I mean, this is the exact opposite of what anyone should expect out of a responsible, caring government.
Right. And last night we talked about the Sandwich Makers petition in San Francisco. It's not actually called the Sandwich Makers petition.
That's great, though.
But that's pretty much what it is, where you've got the City Council of San Francisco following the lead of neighboring Mountain View in putting some kind of legislation forth saying that if you have a tech company, you can't have an on-site cafeteria that gives free food to employees because we have to make sure that the employees are going out and buying food from local restaurants.
Dear God in heaven. So even
it's basically the sandwich makers petition.
Right, and for those not familiar with that is Daryl's homage to Frederic Bastiat, who wrote a pamphlet called The Law. And I highly recommend anyone out there, if you have never read The Law by Frederic Bastiat, it's remarkable. It was written in 1850, I believe, or shortly before he died.
48, I believe?
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, so 48. I think he died in 1850.
Yeah.
But a brilliant piece that has become
He also authored one of the greatest pieces of satire of all time called The Candlemakers Petition.
Thank you, and that was Daryl's homage.
Yes.
So outstanding, Daryl.
Continuing here, in an email to nearly 5 million New Yorkers last month, Uber said that riders would face higher prices, longer wait times, and less service in the city's outer suburbs by drivers. The New York Taxi Workers Alliance, an 18,000-member union representing the city's taxi drivers, hailed the city council's vote as a victory. They posted on their website, quote, "New York City is the first in the country to enact drivers' demands into legislation."
Congratulations. What are you looking for? You
a cookie. I think they want a cookie.
You win the race to the bottom. You have performed the stupidest thing in the recent history of capitalism. And I'll say that, or not capitalism, excuse me. This is socialism we're talking about. This is socialism. You are not allowing markets to work. You are using government to control the means of production. In this case, the means of getting a person from point A to point B. You're picking winners and losers. All these things are wrong. You should know this.
Last month, the CEOs of Uber, or rather the CEO of Uber and the president of Lyft, both addressed the traffic congestion complaints at a tech conference in Aspen, Colorado. They said they are trying to broaden their services by reducing reliance on cars, which can be seen in Uber's acquisition of Jump Bikes and a deal with Lime Scooters. Lyft has acquired the Motivate bike sharing company. They have also pledged to make half of their trips carpools with multiple passengers by the year 2020. So,
yeah.
Thoughts here, other than New York City Council shows once again why they're horrible?
I think they're in the running for probably Politburo of the Year. Congratulations. You have destroyed one aspect of the free market. You have no understanding of basic economics. You have no concern for consumers, which without consumers, there are no taxis. Those are the people that use taxis, in case you didn't know that. You have basically put lots of people out of the job, and I assume that the New York City and New York State are going to have to pay the welfare and the unemployment for all those people who were driving for Uber. Because
See, they're setting a minimum wage for drivers, so everybody's going to be making more money.
Right, and that won't work either because
something.
Minimum wages just make certain jobs illegal. You can't pay this for that. Therefore, that job is now illegal.
Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
If you like alkaline water or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dylan Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dylan bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dylan bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dylan bottle today at dyln.co. That's dyln.co.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
This is Michael Dean from the Freedom Fiends. I've run websites since 1996 and have used over a dozen web hosts in that time. AgristHosting.com is the only one that hasn't broken my heart. Agrist Hosting's uptime and service is stellar, and their DDoS mitigation is the best I've seen. That's important because if you tell the truth in this world, you'll ruffle feathers. And some people will try dirty tricks to silence your voice. No matter what the haters hit us with, Agrist Hosting keeps our websites online. If you have a mission-critical commercial presence or a world-changing activism site, you cannot tolerate any skullduggery. So go with agristhosting.com. Have a WordPress or blog site, but you're not satisfied with performance or uptime? Or just want raw hosting? Want to pay with Bitcoin? Agrist Hosting specializes in high-performance hosting with personalized service. Go to agristhosting.com and click on the button that says Get Hosted. That's agristhosting.com.
I love My Magic Mud. I drink a lot of coffee. I had stains on my teeth. Then I found My Magic Mud, and I was told it would remove stains. So I paid attention when I brushed the first time. My Magic Mud is black tooth powder, and the difference it made in my teeth in one application was noticeable. With 4, my teeth were as white as you normal folks out there. Please go to mymagicmud.com and buy a jar. There's 150 applications for $25. You can use Bitcoin, mymagicmud.com.
There are lots of ways to listen to Free Talk Live. Our podcast has been around since podcasts began, and now the FTL feed is loaded with content besides our full show archives. Did you know that we make it easy for you to customize your podcast subscriptions? We have different feeds, one that includes only our full shows, one with just the Daily Digest, and one with just the Edgington Post. You decide what you listen to. It's quick and easy to customize your feeds at feeds.freetalklive.com. That's feeds.freetalklive.com. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Some of our live shows are streamed in HD on Twitch. Please follow and share at twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That is the toll-free call-in line. Plus, we also have now not 1, not 2, but 3 call-in lines on the Discord.
3?
3.
Wow, so we're getting people stacked up in Discord. That's exciting.
In theory, we could. Now, what you would have to do is, click on either call-in line 2, or call-in line 3, assuming that you're on the Discord. And the Discord is basically a series of chat rooms, both regular chat plus audio chat. Now, I think Discord was designed for gamers to be able to communicate, but, it's not limited to gamers. So basically anybody can go to discord.lrn.fm and join. And if you're somebody that winds up becoming a troll, well, there's a special room just for trolls. It's
or
called the
if you
toxic
like
users room.
Yeah, or you like to interact with trolls.
Right, but there are a couple of people that is the only room that they can post in.
Right.
Anybody can see their stuff, but these couple of people are relegated to posting in that troll zone.
Yet they do it, and people come by to see them, kind of like going to the zoo. Check out the trolls, kids.
Yes. Yeah, and these aren't the fun ones that ask you questions before you're allowed to go into the gap. Discord.lrn.fm. And for anybody that's under the age of, 40, they probably don't get the joke that I just made that's a reference to Mad TV.
I didn't get it from Mad TV, but I figured there was a point in there somewhere.
Yeah, there's the Gap troll.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had been talking about how New York City has totally wound up screwing the ride-hailing business even more by putting a cap on the number of ride-hailing licenses. Well, let's move a little further south. Chris, you've got a story here from Vox out of, I believe, North Carolina?
North Carolina. So, Daryl, what would be wrong with accepting less money for an reasonably expensive medical procedure? Specifically, let's talk MRIs.
Those things aren't cheap.
They're not cheap.
Yeah.
So would there be an issue with, I don't know, maybe starting a business where you provide them for less money?
There's probably some kind of legal issue. There shouldn't be a legal issue, but there probably is one.
Correct. And there is one. And this surgeon wants to offer cheap MRIs. State law is getting in his way. Again, this comes to us from Vox. Dr. Gajendra Singh is suing to overturn North Carolina's, quote, Certificate of Need law. Let's find out what that's all about. Dr. Gajendra Singh walked out of his local hospital's outpatient department last year, having been told an ultrasound for some vague abdominal pain he was feeling would cost $1,200 or so, and decided enough was enough. If he was balking at the price of a routine medical scan, what must people who weren't well-paid medical professionals be thinking?
Now, let's pause right here to say that most people probably don't even know what the MRI cost, because most people have some kind of insurance that will pay a portion of something, assuming that they've reached their out-of-pocket deductible, something, and then there's this thing and that thing, and I'm guessing not everybody gets billed the same for an MRI scan.
There is that. And the thing is that certain things cost certain amounts of money. So in the case of an MRI, there's the cost of a technician. There's a cost of electricity to power this, all those massive magnets and things like that MRIs work off of.
Yes.
And you have to have a doctor who interprets the results of the MRI. So those are all costs.
Right.
But what you have, and I particularly like how you brought up insurance, because when people get an MRI and they're insured and they go in, they say, well, don't worry about it. You only have it's a $25 copay for an MRI visit. What this does, kids, and this is a technical economics term, it's called removing price sensitivity.
Right.
And the problem with massive insurance at all levels, and this means, employer-sponsored insurance, which has started out being just a fringe benefit, just, one of those little things that you might offer to a very few employees, to becoming a way of life, and then government saying every employer now must provide insurance.
Not just they must provide insurance, but you can't limit it to the catastrophic something.
Right.
Something.
They've not only done that, they've said you have to cover all these things, and there cannot be copays in excess of this and that and so on and so on.
Let's try to draw a parallel between, and there's a lot of people that will say, well, you're already required to buy car insurance. What's the difference between buying medical insurance? Well, with car insurance, you don't get free fill-ups at the gas station. You don't get free oil changes at the Jiffy Lube.
Right. These are routine maintenance issues.
Routine maintenance issues you pay out of pocket for.
It used to be, and I'm going to sound like one of those grouchy old men that yells, "Get off my lawn."
Back in my day.
But it used to be that when you went to the doctor, you paid for the doctor visit.
Yes.
And it might have been $50, $75, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, most people have a copay of probably $25 to $50. That's basically the same thing as what the charge used to be.
Right.
But because there's all of these laws governing the way things get billed, the doctors wind up doing extra tests to make sure that they get compensated an appropriate amount.
And you've introduced new players into this. So there are new insurance companies where there were no insurance companies before.
There's also the people that will go to the doctor for every tiny routine thing, where it used to be, I've just got a sniffle, I'll stay home from work for 2 days.
I'm not spending $50 on that. It's a flu. I'm going to get over it. No big deal.
Yeah.
But the price sensitivity question, that to me is what the root problem is when we don't care because we have insurance. We don't care how much things cost because it's only this much. Then nobody up the chain has a reason to care either.
Right.
So as hospitals begin to increase the cost of the MRIs that they provide because of insurance, because they can, Daryl,
right,
they can charge $10,000 for one, and if the guy's insured, then the insurance company's going to go, I'll tell you what, we'll pay you $5,000 and we'll charge the insurance, we'll make it all work out.
Right.
This is why you have this ridiculous escalation in the cost of not health care, but health care insurance.
And let's make a different comparison here to just sort of drive home the point that price has just sort of gone out the window to where nobody thinks about it anymore.
Right.
If I say, Chris, go buy some groceries, and you've got to pay out of pocket for your groceries.
Right.
You're going to shop differently than if I say, Chris, go buy some groceries. Doesn't matter what you get. It's on me.
Or no, there's a $25 copay.
Yeah, you've got to pay $25.
But get as much as you want.
But get whatever you want. You're getting steaks. You're getting some lobsters. You're getting escargot, some caviar. I don't even know if you like caviar.
I'll learn to like it, Daryl. I'll learn.
You're getting all of the expensive stuff, and you're loading your grocery cart full.
Right. Absolutely.
Because price incentive has gone out the window.
Yes, I have
because you're not paying for it.
I don't care. And that's what, and we talk about insurance like it is a beneficial thing. And there are certainly benefits to insurance, but there's this other aspect that people insurance know of, and that is called moral hazard. The concern that by insuring something at a certain level, you will introduce quirks and circumstances that you would have never thought of before.
Yes, and we'll jump into that and continue with this article from Vox, plus your calls and thoughts. Welcome. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. This November, I'll be running the world's biggest and most popular marathon, the New York City Marathon, as a member of Team Innocence Project. The Innocence Project was the first legal organization to systematically apply DNA testing to cases of wrongful convictions as a powerful tool to reveal innocence. So far in 2018, the Innocence Network has welcomed 32 wrongfully convicted people home from prison for crimes they did not commit and had a record-breaking 850 people unite in Memphis at their annual conference. The movement of freeing the innocent and reforming the criminal justice system is growing and would not be possible without your support. Together as 68 network organizations around the world, they've helped exonerate 513 people who spent a combined total of 7,804 years in prison. They've also worked together to pass over 150 laws in the U.S. to help prevent wrongful convictions. You can support the Innocence Project by going to run.freetalklive.com. That's run.freetalklive.com.
It's been said, any society is only 3 missed meals away from chaos. Those times may be near. Think about it. Our country faces multiple terrorist threats and aggressions from Russia and North Korea. Social unrest and violent marches yet again may lead to looting of stores and city shutdowns. And our crumbling infrastructure leaves our power grid vulnerable to long-term outages from a single cyber attack. When the chaos from any one of these threats arises, the government knows it can't provide during a widespread national emergency. That's why you need your own plan for self-reliance. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. Get a 4-week survival food supply for only $99. That includes breakfast, lunches, and dinners. Order online at preparewithgcn.com. $99 for 4 weeks of survival food that tastes like homemade cooking and lasts up to 25 years. From My Patriot Supply. Get your kits today at preparewithgcn.com. Free shipping is included. Preparewithgcn.com.
George W. Bush may be retired from politics, but he's keeping busy with his new hobby of painting. Today, the Picasso-in-chief tweeted his latest picture, a turkey sandwich and glass of lemonade in front of the ghost of the Iraqi child that follows him everywhere. Rebecca Mira has been following the flourishing art career. He's pretty good, Rebecca.
Yeah, well, Rachel, Bush doesn't claim to be a great artist, but as he put it, not bad for an old man, huh?
Not bad at all. He says he likes painting simple things he sees in everyday life, like his dogs, that dead Iraqi child. You can see that Bush's art is improving over time if you take a look. At first, he could barely draw the Iraqi child's transparent hands, but now they look much more realistic.
Much more. You know, I'm not surprised that he's getting better. Bush practices constantly.
And Laura Bush says he's more focused than ever, locks himself away for hours at a time and won't talk to anyone while he's painting.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder if history will look back on Bush as a politician or the next Rembrandt. Up next, a study found that drinking red wine once a day can help the body get hammered.
This is the Onion News Network.
LRN.FM now has a Discord. Discord is a free text and voice chat platform, and we now have our own server with a bunch of channels at discord.lrn.fm. You can join other listeners as they chat about various things during our live shows, or anytime, day or night. Discord software is available cross-platform, so you can have it on whatever device you want and take your chats anywhere. Join our Discord at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm. So you've signed the Shire Society Declaration and are planning your move to New Hampshire to be around more liberty-oriented people. Next, sign up for the Shire Society Forum at forum.shiresociety.com. There are a bunch of people there who are already in the Shire, and they want to meet you. If you're already in the Shire physically, you should also come by the forums. Remember, not everyone uses Facebook. New people are signing up for the Shire Society Forum every month, so drop in and say hello at forum.shiresociety.com.
Love what we do? Please help support our international satellite channels at patreon.lrn.fm. That's patreon.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, 855 450 free. 855-450-3733. That is the toll-free call-in line where you can call in and join us and bring up whatever is on your mind. The us in studio tonight is Daryl.
And Chris.
And we're talking about how governments at various levels, particularly the things tonight are at the municipal and state level, although federal government also controlling some of these things as well. But let's talk about something that is not controlled by governments, and that would be cryptocurrencies. Specifically, want to tell you about Zencash, which is an end-to-end encrypted system that uses zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash recently rolled out supernodes. No, supernodes aren't a node that you put a cape on. Supernode is a node that you stake more Zen into. Secure nodes have 42 Zen staked to them. Supernodes have 500. And the supernodes will advance the decentralization of the Zencash network and ensure the utility not only of Zencash as a currency, but also the future services that will be layered in the infrastructure. So check it out. Learn more. Zencash.com. Zencash.com. And the official Zencash wallet, it's available for multiple platforms, so it's not just a command line running on some obscure version of Linux. Like, they have actual GUI wallets for Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Zencash.com.
See, I like those command line DOS versions, DOS-looking things.
10 go to 20.
But it is good that they're continuing to develop. That's all good news. So we've been talking about this surgeon in North Carolina that went in to he was told he needed an ultrasound, and he was told it would cost $1,200 or so. So he was inspired. The Indian-born surgeon, Gajendra Singh, decided he would open his own imaging center in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and charge a lot less.
All right. Sounds good.
So far, so good.
Yeah, it's one of those things to where the burger chain, you know what? We're going to sell burgers for $1 and we'll make more money because we're selling for less, and then we make money on quantity.
Absolutely. Singh launched his business in August and decided to post his prices as low as $500 for an MRI on a banner outside the office building and on his website. There was just one barrier to fully realizing his vision, a North Carolina law that he and his lawyers argue essentially gives hospitals a monopoly over MRI scans and other services.
Oh, yes, the Certificate of Need.
Singh ran into the state's, quote, Certificate of Need, unquote, law, which prohibited him from buying a permanent MRI machine, which meant his office couldn't always offer patients one of the most important imaging services in medicine. He has resorted to renting a mobile MRI machine a couple of days a week, but it will cost him a lot more over time than a permanent machine would, and 5 days a week, his office can't perform MRIs.
So, Chris, the Certificate of Need law.
It's a new one on me, Daryl. Do you know you've heard this term before?
Yes, I have heard this term before, and it's something
hospitals.
That, yes.
Yeah, okay, now I know.
It's something that Dr. Mary Ruwart has written about in Healing Our World, and she's probably written about it in other places as well.
Great book, highly recommended.
It's this law that exists, largely at the request of existing hospitals, that say, no, government, don't just let anybody open a medical facility.
Couldn't have that.
You have to ask us if the community needs a medical facility.
And then we'll give you a certificate for it, and we'll call that certificate a Certificate of Need. Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
So if we, the current doctors and hospital operators in the area, determine that we are sufficiently serving the community, then we're going to say that no, we don't need any additional medical practitioners.
Oh,
and you, Mr. Singh or Dr. Singh, you are not allowed to open a medical facility because we have determined that we don't need your service.
And we don't need any more competition.
Yeah,
that's who said that?
Basically,
who said Smith on the end? Shut up. We didn't want to hear that.
Yeah,
but that's the case. It basically picks winners and losers, and it just says that it's not only rigging it so it's really expensive to get into business. This is government policy that just says no, you can't do that.
Right. So imagine if this Certificate of Need applied to industries other than hospitals.
How about a plumber?
Oh, I was going to think of something that people do several times a day, and that would be eat.
Well, you could do either one. One has something to do with the other one at a later time.
Most people aren't hiring a plumber every day.
Then let me go through my example, then you go through your example. We implement here in the city of Keene, New Hampshire, certificates of needs for plumbers. So every time some new plumber wants to come and start their own plumbing company, then we're just going to say, we don't need any more plumbers. Right. Eventually, the city begins to grow in size. A number of plumbers decide that they want to retire. And what happens to the cost of plumbers? How much is what happens to their hourly rate? Now they know that nobody else can come in and take their business. Their rates go up. Their prices go up. The level of service goes down because they're protected. Nobody else can come in and take our jobs. We've got the power of the law behind us. If this sounds like a completely un-American idea to do this with plumbers, it's even more reprehensible to do it with healthcare. And that's where it's used most often.
Right. And the example I was going to give was restaurants.
Sure. Good one.
Let's ask Burger King, McDonald's, and Wendy's if we need any new restaurants in town. Oh, you want to open up a business selling homemade meals? No. See, the King guy, the redhead chick with the ponytails, and the
Wendy.
weird clown, they determined that we don't need any additional restaurants, so therefore you go away.
Just don't do it.
Let's
So,
go to
go
the
ahead.
phones where we've got someone calling from an undisclosed location listening on TuneIn. CJ, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hey guys, yeah, it's CJ. So I just wanted to share my idea with you about how the Libertarian Party could do some serious damage to the war on drugs. So because we can't all get together and file a class action suit against the federal government, or obviously we can't initiate violence against anyone to stop this stuff, I was thinking what we could do, and I came up with this idea the other day after I ate a bunch of mushrooms, it was like totally tripped my balls off. I was thinking what we could do is the Libertarian Party could get together and sign a petition ordering the federal government to audit Big Pharma and all the companies associated with it, and then any person or while they were conducting the audit, any money that was paid out to a large amount of money that was paid out to a particular politician or any other person in the government should be investigated. And then if it's found to be for bribery to keep marijuana or psilocybin Cubensis or whatever it might be illegal, then obviously those people should be prosecuted and thrown in prison.
Yeah, and I on the one hand kind of like the idea, but at the same time, there's all kinds of campaign finance stuff. You could dig through the filings to find out who's made contributions to whom. The difficulty is proving that any political contribution was bribery.
Right.
If I make a political contribution because I like the things that a particular politician is doing, that's not bribery. But if I give him a contribution and then he just happens to wind up the next week introducing some legislation that we talked about,
right,
is that bribery per se? Like, it's very hard to prove that something is a bribe unless the person explicitly says this is a bribe, and nobody is dumb enough to do that.
But it's an interesting question. It's an interesting problem you propose. To me, it's one of those things that, to me, as a libertarian-minded guy, on the one hand, I see that you can talk through your contribution. I have freedom of speech,
right?
That wasn't granted by the government, and I can extend that through my campaign contribution.
Right.
The concern is well, how do you put in a whole set of laws that determine what bribery is, what it isn't, and it just ends up being a mess because we got government involved.
CJ, thank you for the call. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. This is Free Talk Live.
Heart-related health problems affect millions of people each year. Maybe you're one of the many who suffer from issues related to angina pain, high blood pressure, congestive heart failure, unbalanced cholesterol, irregular heartbeat, or clogged arteries. There is a solution that doesn't involve expensive prescription drugs that only mask the problem and leave you with horrible side effects. If you are ready to live your life free of sickness, pain, and fear, live your life with increased vitality, energy, and youthfulness, and experience your body healing itself, then you're ready for Heart and Body Extract from Healthy Hearts Club. Here is what one satisfied customer had to say about Heart and Body Extract regarding his angina pain.
I haven't had an angina pain since I've been on it. The Heart Body Extract is just so great. I thank God that I was led to this product that's doing so much for me and that can do so much for other people.
Call to order your 2-month supply of Heart and Body Extract today. Call 1-866-295-5305 or go to hbextract.com.
The new 4th edition of Healing Our World, The Compassion of Libertarianism will take your understanding of liberty to a deeper level and has over 1,300 updated references, new cartoons, and a foreword by Dr. Ron Paul. With discounts for multiple book purchases, the 4th edition of Healing Our World is a great gift for the liberals, pragmatists, environmentalists, and Christians in your life who think libertarianism is cold-hearted. Get yours today at healing.freetalklive.com and use promo code FTL for a $5 discount.
The three most important things you can do for Free Talk Live are: 1, share one episode a week on Facebook or in some other social networking site. 2, buy the things you buy online through shop.freetalklive.com. 3, give $5 a month to the AMP program. It's my firm belief that Free Talk Live's AMP program is the best use of your charitable dollar among liberty-oriented organizations. Support all the organizations you love, but make sure you give $5 a month to AMP at amp.freetalklive.com.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 2 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, August 9th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,216 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,270. Antiwar.com reports in comments on Tuesday, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert called on Russia to withdraw its military entirely from the 2 breakaway republics of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. The U.S. does not recognize the region's independence. The comments come 10 years after the brief Russo-Georgian War, during which Georgia attempted to attack South Ossetia, ending up fighting Russian troops therein and fairly quickly losing. In the aftermath, Russia recognized the independence of both countries. Both South Ossetia and Abkhazia have historical reasons for not considering themselves part of Georgia, despite nominally being part of the Georgian Soviet Socialist Republic during the Soviet era. The Georgians, however, never recognized this, and to the extent that Russia has, the U.S. has taken the opposite position. The regions are a long problem for Georgia, which has ambitions for joining NATO. NATO clearly would never accept anyone as a member state who has existing territorial disputes with Russia and accuses Russia of occupying parts of its territory, since this would mean an immediate NATO-Russia war. The State Department insists they support Georgia's territorial integrity, as including those regions, and to the extent that continues, it follows that Georgia would never be able to advance toward accession into NATO. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports days after releasing an upbeat earnings report that included a rare jump in attendance and earnings, Orlando, Florida-based SeaWorld announced its plans to eliminate 125 positions. SeaWorld Entertainment said Tuesday the positions, some of which are currently vacant, will be cut across the company. Spokesman Travis Clater described the layoffs as being part of a restructuring program to better position it for continued growth and financial success. He added, for those employees who will be impacted by this restructure, we are offering severance benefits and transition assistance. We remain committed to providing our guests with inspiring experiences that matter and to continuing the world-class care for all our animals, including animal rescue, rehabilitation, and ocean conservation efforts. Despite the layoffs, SeaWorld offered a rare positive outlook for one of the first time since 2013. The net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the New York City Council on Wednesday agreed to cap the number of licenses for ride-hailing services such as Uber and Lyft for 1 year, dealing a blow to the companies that have relied on the largest U.S. metro area for a major source of their revenue. The first such cap by any major U.S. city was part of a package of measures that also included setting a minimum wage for drivers. The package, opposed by major ride-hailing companies, is aimed at reducing traffic congestion and increasing driver paychecks in the wake of the explosive growth for for-hire vehicles. The drop in incomes has demoralized many drivers, and the New York Taxi Workers Alliance said there have been 6 suicides among cab and livery drivers in recent months. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio said he intends to sign the bill into law, which would start the 12-month period where no new for-hire vehicle licenses would be issued, with the exception for wheelchair-accessible vehicles. Via, which operates shared rides with established stops, hopes the city will make an exception for carpools, which it says reduces congestion and provides drivers with the most money. In an email to nearly 5 million New Yorkers last month, Uber said riders would face higher prices, longer wait times, and less service in the city's outer suburbs by drivers. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
It's the Onion Radio News. A crazy man announces plans to stand in a doorway and yell at cars. This is Doyle Redland reporting. Dennis Fife, an Alhambra, California crazy man, held a press conference today to announce his intention to stand in the doorway of the office building at 2600 Kenilworth Avenue and yell at cars all day.
At approximately 9:30 a.m. on the day in question, shortly after I finish lunging at dogs, I will proceed to the front steps of the Simmons building and yell loudly for 9 hours. The screaming will be broken by a 15-minute fit of rigid catatonia, most likely in the late afternoon.
Among the topics Fife plans to address during his 9-hour rant: the ace of diamonds, bookshelves, the man trying to kill him, plastic bags in trees, Trapper John M.D., and papers everywhere. Doyle Redland for the Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is the Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, kicking off hour number 2. You can call in and join us and bring up whatever is on your mind. The us in studio tonight is Daryl.
And Chris.
And we've been talking about this surgeon in North Carolina, Dr. Gajendra Singh, who, after going in for some kind of ultrasound for an abdominal pain and being told it would cost about $1,200, decided, you know what? I can do this for cheaper.
Yes.
And he decided that he would open up an office and he would get an MRI machine and he would offer MRIs for as low as $500. But then he found out, after consultation with his lawyer, about this law that exists in North Carolina and several other places.
Many
way,
other places.
This thing called a Certificate of Need law, which would prohibit him from buying a permanent MRI machine, which meant that his office could not offer, or at least not always reliably offer patients one of the most important image testing services in medicine. So he had to resort to renting a mobile machine, according to Vox, a couple days a week, which also meant that 5 days a week he could not perform MRIs, and because he's renting instead of buying, it's going to cost him more. And what happens when your costs wind up going up, Chris, when you're offering a good or service?
When my costs go up?
Yes.
I make less money, or I have to increase my costs. I have to increase my retail cost. Yes.
Right. So when your overhead goes up, you were getting something from a supplier for $1 a piece. Now it's $3 a piece.
Yep.
You've got to increase because you were only selling it for $1.50. You're not going to lose $1.50 on each item.
Right.
So you're increasing the price.
I have to do that.
Yes.
Yes. So Singh finds out about the Certificate of Need problem, the need laws, and it is a problem, and it affects almost everyone listening right now, I will guarantee in some way.
Yes.
Now, Singh has had enough. He filed a lawsuit Monday in North Carolina Superior Court to overturn the state law. News that he and his attorneys from the Institute for Justice shared exclusively with Vox. Singh specializes in complex liver transplants and surgeries to treat gastrointestinal cancers. He appreciates the importance of a good MRI. Quote, "Those patients need imaging. As a surgeon, we need to see what we're going to do. We often need a lot of imaging," unquote, he told me in a phone interview. As Vox's Sarah Cliff reported, as part of her project to collect emergency room bills, Americans can sometimes be charged as much as $24,000 if they get an MRI at a hospital's ER. Singh is offering a substantial discount on a medical service plagued by high costs.
Right. So again, we sort of covered some of why these costs might be so high, but knowing that not everybody listens to the entire show because we are on broadcast radio and, you know, just the way commutes happen, people aren't necessarily in the car for 3 hours. Let's sort of recap again, because there's insurance that will artificially increase the price of things because, well, there's agreements between the insurance company and the medical provider that says that you'll get reimbursed for a certain percentage, and then there's laws at the federal level that say that if you accept insurance, you have to accept Medicare, Medicaid, and you can't bill things differently, and all of these other things. And then, oh, well, you know, while we're taking pictures, instead of take like 2 or 3, let's go ahead and take like 15.
Right. And the other thing that all this insurance and things do are introduce price insensitivity. They remove price sensitivity. In other words, I care how much something costs, and they eliminate that part, so you don't really have to care. And we'll talk a little bit about certificates of need because I've been Googling that a little bit, and it's kind of interesting. But because his office can only offer MRIs twice a week, they must regularly turn away patients who need them, some of whom shouldn't wait to get important medical scans. Quote, "We lose all those patients," unquote, said Singh, who also owns his own surgery practice. Certificate of need laws were in vogue 40 years ago, but lawmakers quickly discovered in practice they often serve to protect hospitals from competition.
You don't say. When you ask hospitals if the community needs another hospital, and the hospital says no, it took these guys 40 years to realize that that's giving them protection from competition.
Well, nobody really wanted to step up and say it because you got to realize that the medical lobbies are very powerful, and they are going to be ones, no, we need certificate of need laws.
We can't just let everybody open a hospital.
God forbid.
Well, why not?
Right. 49 states had such a statute at one time, but in the decades since, 14 states have repealed theirs, which means there's still too many states out there that have them. Singh wants to make sure North Carolina is the next one. He says if he prevails and he's able to purchase a permanent MRI, he hopes it will bring in more money for his center, and then he says he can lower prices more. Quote, "If I wanted to just have money, I didn't have to do all this stuff," unquote, he said. Do I want to make money? Absolutely. But I didn't open this imaging center to buy a Lamborghini, unquote.
Now, there are some people that would say that, you know, oh, well, he's admitting that he just wants to be a failure.
Yes.
He doesn't want to be super rich, so why is he even in business?
Right. The answer is sometimes there are other motivations that people have, like doing the right thing, which is they should be applauded for that. But the side effect is those people tend to become very wealthy by doing it, and that's even better. Under North Carolina's law, a medical provider must obtain a government permit, a, quote, certificate of need, unquote, if they want to offer certain new services or buy new equipment. But first, every year, state officials will make a determination about whether certain services are needed in different places. Listen to this again. But first, every year, state officials will make a determination about whether certain services are needed in different places. Bureaucrats deciding what medical equipment is needed in a geographic area. That is socialism. That is controlling the means of production in the medical sense in a given geographic area.
Right. And again, it's not that I think it would be better if it were the local officials, but these are the state officials, the people in Raleigh.
Right. The people
because we're talking about North Carolina here.
Right. Who are deciding effects on things in Cullowhee.
Yeah.
Right.
Some little beach town that's right across the border from Myrtle Beach. What would that, like Hilton Head?
Yeah.
Or something.
South Carolina.
They all run together.
All those Carolinas.
I lived in Myrtle Beach, and I always got confused about what towns were where.
There used to be just a Carolina. Things were easier then. Yeah,
Kitty Hawk, North Carolina.
That is.
So you don't have, like the bureaucrats in Kitty Hawk, not that I would support that either, but it's bureaucrats in Raleigh that they don't even know what's going on in Kitty Hawk.
Yeah. Now,
isn't that where the Wright brothers flew their little flying device a couple days ago?
But I guarantee you the state sells
Grandma,
this.
That was 115 years.
Exactly. But no, this state, this group that decides these things, it's made up of doctors and it's made up of healthcare professionals. And yes, we have a couple bureaucrats in there to make sure the paperwork goes through. But again, you're talking about just control, and it is just absolutely wrong.
Again, this is akin to asking the weird king, the redhead girl, and the goofy clown if we need more restaurants in town. We'll get to the Discord line in just a moment, plus your calls and thoughts. Welcome on the toll-free call-in line, 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. More out of North Carolina, where they're prosecuting, essentially, Dr. Singh for trying to open a business. This is Free Talk Live.
From the second letter of Captain Mark. Any pirate knows that commerce is communication. Markets condense oceans of information into a single price. Innovations in communication are circumventing the scrutiny of the crown. This signals a change in the coin of the realm. The crown uses digital currency to surveil, censor, seize, and destroy wealth at will, so pirate currency must protect us from this weaponized money. We need to move funds further, faster, cheaper, and without third-party observation, basing decisions on an accelerating flow of information. So pirates require nearly instantaneous transactions with no arbitrary limits on volume or artificial influences on fees. Most importantly, a pirate currency must preclude centralization. Otherwise, it will become another link in our chain to the crown. A superior currency will result in the obsolescence of the coin of the realm and the extinction of the crown itself. Trade above the grid. Join us at pirateswithoutborders.com.
I've said it many times on air, and I'll say it here. The New Hampshire Liberty Alliance is one of the most important organizations for freedom in the world. New Hampshire is ground zero for freedom, and the NHLA is the best organization at promoting effective liberty activism. This ad is sponsored by Free Talk Live, and I, Mark Edge, am a lifetime member because I believe in the NHLA. Please check them out at nhliberty.org. Not everyone can move right now, but you can support the cause. Donate top cryptocurrencies or old-fashioned U.S. dollars, nhliberty.org. Visit their website and see what they're all about, nhliberty.org.
Zencash is an end-to-end encrypted system with zero-knowledge technology over which communications, data, or value can be securely transmitted and stored. With over 13,000 secure nodes, Zencash has one of the most distributed secure node systems of any cryptocurrency, and Zencash now has supernodes. Supernodes will bring network, economic, and technical improvements across the network. And the official Zencash wallet is available on Linux, Mac, Windows, and Android devices. Learn more at zencash.com, zencash.com.
Since time began, tyrants have taken aim at personal liberties. Now there's a movie that aims back.
The government has no more right to tell us what to put in our bodies than they have to take our guns or tell us what books we can read.
6 drug police were eaten by bears while raiding a marijuana farm.
On your knees, you dirty hippie! Jesus. On your knees! What's the problem, officer?
Today, many cops who enforce pot laws do so only because it provides them with cushy jobs, good benefits, and a chance to push people around.
I was an undercover narcotics officer. The drug war is nothing but a farce.
The Second Amendment says you gotta keep you and your gat intact.
Guns and Weed, The Road to Freedom. A film by Michael W. Dean and Nima Vadadi.
DVD available now at gunsandweed.com or on Amazon. That's gunsandweed.com. Makes the perfect gift. Remember, that's gunsandweed.com.
Did you know you can watch Free Talk Live during our live show 7 days a week from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern via our studio cams at cam.freetalklive.com? Plus, you can chat with other listeners while you watch, all totally free. Now that our live video stream is hosted by YouTube, our video archives will be online even faster, so be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Listen, watch, and chat all free at cam.freetalklive.com. That's cam.freetalklive.com.
Cell 411 is a free app for Android and iOS that replaces government-controlled 911. Cell 411 allows you to preset a group of friends or private organizations to show up at any emergency. Cell 411 is a nightmare for the state because it proves their so-called services aren't needed. Cell 411 has had thousands of installs, and of course it's covered by the BIPCOT no government license. Cell 411 because your friends won't shoot you when you're in trouble. Without the government, who would build the emergency services? You and Cell 411. Get it today at getcell411.com.
This is the Liberty Radio Network, broadcasting the latest liberty-oriented audio content 24 hours a day at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. Plus, we have 3 call-in lines on the Discord. We're about to get to Anomic, and then we do have somebody in one of the other call-in lines that we'll get to in just a moment. You're welcome to call in, bring up whatever is on your mind, and chat with us. The us in studio is Daryl.
And Chris.
Now, before we go to the phones, I've got a question for you. Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? If so, then CryptoTip is the ideal outreach tool for you to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to a service provider, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. And then when the server scans the QR code, it brings up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allows them to claim the amount that you decide that you want to put on the tip. And don't worry if they don't claim the crypto, it's not just lost in the system. It comes back to you after a certain period of time. And again, you get to pick that period of time. I think the options are 1, 2, 3, 6, or 12 months. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. And it allows you to put in notes so that you have some kind of idea of who redeemed the tip, assuming that you have a good enough memory to remember when you get home, oh, right, this is where I left the tip. I always forget, and then it's like 3 days later, wait, where did I leave that?
What was their name? Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can put that info in and then know who has redeemed the tips. You can create as few or as many as you want at cryptotip.org. And just a note, there are 6 to a page that get printed out. That way, if you're trying to figure out how many, I want to print 2 pages of these, then you would want 12 because 6 to a page. Cryptotip.org, now with Dash and Bitcoin Cash. Cryptotip.org. We've been talking about this surgeon in North Carolina, Dr. Singh, who had wanted to open an office with an MRI machine and offer MRIs for about $500. And then he found out that North Carolina has this thing called a certificate of need, whereby other medical providers get to determine whether or not he can purchase an MRI and then open in the area. Right now, he's renting a machine a couple days per week. There's more to the story, but first we go to the Discord where we've got Anomic calling in. Anomic, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hey guys, you brought up a lot of good points with the regulation, certificates of need and whatnot, but I was calling about the price signaling. Even if he can open up a practice like that and have $500, the way the market is currently run with the employer-based health insurance, there's no incentive for me to go to him.
Really,
Anamik, you are starting to break up. I'm going to put you on hold, and we'll get back to you hopefully in a few minutes. I think he was saying that there's some price incentive problems.
Yeah.
And if somebody has insurance that covers everything, then they wouldn't necessarily be
a potential customer.
The person that would go to this new place.
Right.
The people that would go to this new place are the people that have high deductibles.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, I'm nowhere near my deductible. I've got $5,000 out of pocket, and I want to get as much medical for that as possible,
Right.
but I really need an MRI. That's the potential customer. The other potentials are people, Chris, like, well, I'm guessing you're in the same boat as people that don't have health insurance.
No, Daryl, that's against the law. You have to have insurance. For me to say I don't have health insurance is an admission of guilt. That is against the law, Daryl. That is part of the Affordable Care Act.
I also jaywalked earlier today. Sue me, throw me in jail,
Daryl,
and deport me to somewhere.
Daryl, the medical police may be listening to this show right now.
Yeah, that's fine.
We're going to get raided.
That's fine. I also took some mushrooms at Fork Fest.
Ooh. Like Portobello?
No. But the point
is, yes.
This isn't, admission of guilt hour, but
it's ridiculous. Yes.
There are people that don't have health insurance.
Yes.
Those are the people that would go to Dr. Singh.
Yeah. And I hate
Those are the people that would wind up going to, like Crazy Cat Lady Stitch and Sew, that she does some embroidery, and she also might, you've got a knife wound? I can stitch that up for you.
There's all sorts of people, and I hate to bring this up because it'll undoubtedly infuriate some, but there are illegal aliens that do not use government-provided healthcare services because they're afraid they're going to get caught. So, another potential customer for Dr. Singh, and none of these things are wrong.
And there are also legal immigrants that don't go to some of these places because they're afraid that they'll just wind up being harassed anyway because they look like somebody
right
that might not be from around here.
The point being, in a free market, you shouldn't have to worry about any of these questions. It shouldn't be that. You should be able to choose your provider. Oh, I'm sorry. Obama said we were going to get to keep our doctor.
Yeah.
But this is just simple marketing, and we're going to continue here, and then maybe we can pop back into.
Let's try going back to Anamik back on the Discord, and then we'll get to Otis after this. Anamik, you're back on. Hopefully, your connection is better. Anamik, are you there?
Are you muted?
Does not sound like he is there. Let's go to Otis, calling in also on Discord.
Go ahead.
Oh, am I on?
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Oh, man, you guys didn't even screen me. I can't believe this. This is fast. Wow.
Yeah, go ahead with your thought.
Oh, well, I'm kind of blindsided now. I don't even know what to say. I want to welcome the new guy to the show. I've never seen him before. I'm a big fan of Ian.
Yeah.
I'm pretty glad that you guys are all wearing shirts again, finally, because it's a little rude to be running around without a shirt on since you guys are on TV. I mean, you're not just radio now. You know that.
Technically, we're not on TV. You're referring to the live stream on Twitch, which we'd been live streaming to YouTube for a long time.
I got you guys on my big flat screen in the living room here. The whole family's watching. So,
wow, great.
You guys are on TV.
All right, so we're on your TV. Is that what you called about?
Hey,
you guys have made it to the big leagues. Let me tell you that. You guys are freaking famous.
Otis, thank you for the call. Let's try Anamik one more time. Anamik, are you there, and do you have a good connection with us? Does not sound like we have Anamik. Hopefully he can get whatever the technical problem is resolved. And, of course, you can call us the old-fashioned way, through the telephone, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. Bring up whatever is on your mind. A little bit more to this story from Vox about Dr. Singh and his $500 MRI, maybe, assuming he gets a Khan certificate of need. This is Free Talk Live.
Would it be okay if you had 2 paychecks instead of 1? I'm pharmacist Keith. Dr. Wallach, the Dead Doctors Don't Lie guy, and myself want to show you how to get an extra paycheck every month, creating an extra income that will last for years to come by joining Dr. Wallach's crusade, spreading his message of better health. To learn more, visit radio.recordedvideo.com. That's radio.recordedvideo.com, radio.recordedvideo.com, or call 866-257-3105 for a recorded message.
This is Jessica Armand, creator of the fluoride-free oral care brand My Magic Mud. You're going to love our new products. Our cutting-edge oral rinses deeply soothe your mouth and fight cavities naturally. Our breath spray, My Magic Mist, will invigorate your senses with essential oils of peppermint and eucalyptus. Our clinically proven toothpaste and tooth powders whiten your teeth and detoxify your mouth. Buy discounted bundles direct at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off with coupon code GCN10. mymagicmud.com.
Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what the readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. freedomsphoenix.com, constantly providing the information, the real news about government policies, and the real relationship we all have with the coercive government. The real condition of the economy, innovations in technology, breakthroughs in energy, health, and computer science. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media. The corporate media, nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but now there's an alternative. freedomsphoenix.com. Constant news updates on the issues that affect your life in the most important ways. With liberty and property under constant attack, freedomsphoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda, and it encourages the participation of its readers. Go to freedomsphoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, phoenix.com. freedomsphoenix.com. The revolution between the ears has already happened.
We've all heard about blockchain assets like Dogecoin, Ether, and Ripple. Bitcoin isn't the only player in the blockchain game any longer. And for those of us wondering how to get our hands on these digital assets, finally, there's a solution. Shapeshift.io allows you to buy and sell between your digital assets and Bitcoin instantly between your own digital wallets. I've used it with ease. Shapeshift.io. There's no account or email address needed. You send them the crypto you want to sell. They send back the crypto you want to buy. It's that easy. Shapeshift.io.
Did you know we've taken our LRN.FM telephone listen line to a new level with the LRN.FM audio on demand line? Now you can call 712-770-8447 anytime and listen to LRN.FM's live feed. And you can listen to a bunch of our original shows on demand. Long distance fees may apply. Just dial 712-770-8447 and choose from the menu. 712-770-8447. Why did you move to the Shire?
I moved here to the Shire because there's other people around who take liberty just as seriously as I do.
I moved to the Shire because I saw videos of people challenging authority and thought that I could get support myself. It called to me, like, do this right now.
I wanted to be around people like me who got it. And once I got here, I knew there was nowhere else that I wanted to be.
I've always wanted to change the world. So I moved to the Shire to join people who were actually working towards doing the same thing.
The people here are awesome, loving, and positive. It was for the adventure and for the feeling of something important is happening here. And I just wanted to come to sort of be part of that.
Visit ShireSociety.com to read and sign the Shire Society Declaration and learn the reasons why, if you love liberty, you should immigrate to the Shire. Plus, add yourself to the Shire map at ShireSociety.com. That's ShireSociety.com.
You can sign up to receive the latest about the Liberty Radio Network via our email updates at updates.lrn.fm. That's updates.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733. You can call in and bring up whatever is on your mind and talk with us. The us in studio tonight is Daryl.
And Chris.
And one of the last callers did mention that you can watch us if you want to. You can do that by going to Twitch. twitch.lrn.fm. Now, that camera is only on, assuming that we don't forget to turn it off after the show, should only be on when there are live shows out of this studio. That would be Free Talk Live every night of the week, and then Mondays through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. we've got Call to Freedom, and occasionally one of the hosts of one of the shows might come in and play some video games, so you might get some video gaming on the LRN Twitch channel. And if you're an Amazon Prime subscriber, then you can subscribe to our Twitch. Now, subscribing on YouTube means you get notifications. On Twitch, that would be a follow. So we invite everyone to follow us. But if you are an Amazon Prime member, and the reason we're specifying Amazon Prime is you get one free Twitch subscription per month. And then that just means that Amazon throws some money to us, and it's no additional money out of your pocket.
Guess who just did that?
Barack Obama.
This guy. Yeah. So every month you have to go back in. You have to renew, basically resubscribe to the LRN FM channel.
And it's based on whatever your Amazon Prime subscription date is. So it's not the first of the month for everybody.
Yeah. But mine comes up, and I try to remind myself I got to go back in, and so I just resubscribed.
Yep. Twitch.lrn.fm. There's more from the Vox story that we'll get to in just a moment, but first to the phones where we've got Noah calling in from Tyler, Texas. Noah, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Oh, hey, guys. So I was wondering, I'm kind of new to this whole, well, I wouldn't say too new, but I studied a little bit from Carl Miller, Mark Stevens, and so I was just not really sure with what approach to approach court when I'm in a criminal case, or what they allege, but there's no injured party.
Okay.
So I filed the motions to dismiss for lack of jurisdiction because there's failure to state a cause of action. And today at the pretrial, the judge, he skimmed over the motion and he just denied it. And I asked on what grounds, and he just didn't respond and told me to get out. So I don't know, what, maybe you guys would have some suggestions or recommendations on how I could proceed to the jury trial, or I don't know.
Well, number one, I never give legal advice. I wouldn't take mine. And I'm not like an expert on a lot of the ideas that Mark Stevens and others promote in terms of how to beat the system. The system loves to beat on people, and I love the fact that people want to challenge them on that. What I've never heard are the actual magic words that if you say this while standing on one foot and patting your head.
There are no magic words.
Yeah, I know, but there are a lot of, and I'm not saying that's certainly not Mark Stevens or anybody else. I'm not saying that about anyone specifically, but there's a lot of frauds out there, and there's a lot of misinformation.
Now, I've got a question for you. You mentioned that whatever your thing was, there was no injured party. What sort of charge are you facing?
Well, it's I thought it was a traffic infraction. For some reason, the Texas Penal Code says it's a criminal matter, so they transferred it from the traffic court to the criminal court in my county. And so, yeah, they're saying it's a Class B misdemeanor, and so they're charging it as a crime, in which I'm confused because I it was originally, even the bonds lady that bailed me out of my day in jail, she said it should have been a traffic matter.
Do you care to go into a little detail? I'm just trying to understand what could move from a traffic violation to a misdemeanor.
Right. Like I say, I'm confused as to why that even happened.
What was the offense that they alleged that you committed? Did they say you were going 60 in a 55 and then somehow made that a misdemeanor, or were they saying that you were on some kind of substance while driving 100 miles an hour down the highway?
Okay, so I bought these custom So what I was doing was I was attempting to practice my right to travel.
Okay.
But, I mean, so that's what I was doing. So what I had was these custom plates. I was trying to give notice.
So unregistered vehicle.
Or failure to display plates properly. Go ahead.
I think technically the vehicle was registered, but from what I've studied, you still can maintain your right to travel based on your capacity, your acting. And so even if your vehicle is registered and you have a license, I mean, it was under duress anyway, you still maintain your right to travel because you're not, from what I've understood, according to Uniform Commercial Code, your classification is based on your use. So I'm classified as a
I know that there are a lot of people that wind up saying, I wasn't doing commercial activities, so therefore I was not driving or operating.
Right.
I was traveling. Unfortunately, the judge isn't going to, in most cases, there might be a judge that is just like, you know what, I don't want to hear it, go home, dismissed.
Which is a win. If you just drive them nuts and they throw you out of court because they don't want to hear it, that's a win.
In 99 out of 100 cases, or it might be 999 out of 1,000, the judge is going to say, I don't care what theory you have. They say you did this. You can't prove to me that you didn't do this, therefore guilty, even though the system shouldn't be that you have to prove your innocence. It should be that they have to prove that you are guilty. One thing that I would suggest, and again, as Chris pointed out, we're not qualified to give legal advice, but they are supposed to, again, prove you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Just keep asking if they have any evidence.
Right. What is your exact evidence?
What is the evidence? And if they say, I wrote a ticket is not evidence.
Right.
What is the actual physical evidence? Do you have pictures? Do you have video? Do you have audio of me admitting to doing something?
Right.
Now, Noah, I will ask this question, and I don't know what the rules are there in Texas for being able to film a trial.
Yeah.
Do you know if you'll be able to have a friend or family member come in to film the trial? Because I would love to see video of whatever it is that you try.
Right. Yeah, well, I audio recorded my pre-trial, but I'm definitely going to try to film my actual jury trial.
Mm-hmm.
The charge that I'm going to criminal court for was fictitious plates.
Fictitious plates.
Meaning it was not issued by the state of Texas or authorized by the state of Texas, even though, and this is interesting, Texas has a lot of options for custom license plates, and they actually contract that out to an outside party, but because they're authorized, then when they print up the plate, it's not fictitious, but when you create the plate, and the whole point, and Noah, thank you for the call, the whole point of vehicle registration was supposed to be just so that we can identify vehicles and know who is driving them.
Now it's about taxation. That's part of it.
It's all about revenue and compliance, is what it is.
Well, call it what it is, taxation and compliance. Yeah. When they take money from you for whatever reason, and they're going to spend it in a way that you did not intend it to be spent, that's theft, and taxation is theft.
Yes.
So the other thing I guess I would have, if we would have continued that conversation, was I pick holes in every single stupid thing. If they say, no, I did take a picture of it. Excellent. Can I see the chain of custody for this photograph?
Yeah.
Did you think to create a chain of custody for something as silly as a cell phone, picture?
Right, and then
if he didn't attack it, and every little thing.
You could also ask questions about what the probable cause was for pulling you over in the first place.
Right.
What was I driving erratically? What was I, threatening other drivers, or did you just decide to stop me? Because 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
Most of you know that heart disease is the #1 silent killer in the U.S. What if I told you for just $54.95 a month you could fight against heart disease naturally? At Heart and Body Extract, we've been helping thousands of people get back to a healthier heart. Don't just take my word for it. Check out all of the success stories at hbextract.com, or to order, call 866-295-5305. That's 866-295-5305. hbextract.com. Don't risk it when you can take charge of it.
If you like alkaline water, or know someone that does, you're going to love the Dylan Living Water Bottle. It creates alkaline water on the go while reducing plastic waste and saving you money. Made with surgical-grade stainless steel, the Dylan bottle increases the pH up to 9 to deliver both alkaline and antioxidant water anywhere you want it. Alkaline water is healthier, tastes better, and can even boost energy. The Dylan bottle makes it easy and affordable to be healthy and achieve optimal hydration. Get your Dylan bottle today at byln.co. That's byln.co.
So the protection of life, liberty, and property is what the Free State Project is all about. But it's an effort to move 20,000 people who understand.
It's about demonstrating to the entire country
that, yeah, we can have a free market, a truly free market.
Making it just a freer, great place to live.
It's the world's largest voluntarist libertarian community, and it's only getting bigger.
That's amazing, to be able to move to a place where other people passionately believe in being free and independent.
What the Free State Project is managing to do, though, is to put their money where their mouth is. Physically getting up across the country and saying, let's go someplace and let's demonstrate the power of these ideas. There's a lot of kind of philosophy that surrounds liberty. There's a lot of thinking about it and talking about it. But here in New Hampshire, people are doing it.
101 Reasons Liberty Lives in New Hampshire, a documentary by Free State Project early movers. Watch it free at 101reasonsfilm.com. 101reasonsfilm.com. If you want to know the latest about Free Talk Live before we go on the air, all you need to decide is how you want it delivered. It's your choice. Visit news.freetalklive.com. You can get emailed announcements and participate in contests via our email updates list. Plus, we have a Twitter account that you can follow and a Facebook page where you can become a fan. So visit news.freetalklive.com to get news about Free Talk Live as soon as it's announced and the way you want it delivered at news.freetalklive.com. That's news.freetalklive.com.
When you hear the word lobbyist, you probably think about greedy corporations, but not all lobbyists are the same. Some are fighting for the freedoms you hold dear. Liberty Lobby LLC is doing just that in New Hampshire, working hard to represent you, not some special interest group. You can help by going to libertylobby.info, where your contribution will give us the tools we need to ensure that your voice is heard. Visit libertylobby.info today to find out more.
What's up next? Visit the Liberty Radio Network program guide to find out at shows.lrn.fm. That's shows.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live, and you can call in and talk to us live by dialing toll-free 855-450-FREE. 855-450-3733. We're going to jump back into this article from Vox here in just a moment, talking about the North Carolina law about a certificate of need, which is a government permit that specifically in the medical industry, where it gives existing medical providers the ability to determine whether or not the community needs any additional medical providers or providers of certain services, or whether or not existing providers need to purchase new equipment.
Yep.
Now, before we get back into that, something that you don't need anybody's permission to do is to use liberty.menu. You go there, liberty.menu, that's the website, and you just look at the directory of liberty-minded businesses. And liberty.menu is a tool for our community. At its core is a directory for events, businesses, and digital content, and more. Listings can be rated and reviewed, kind of like on Yelp, but there's also a bit of a social networking aspect where you can connect and share with other users. Use of liberty.menu, however, is exclusively for individuals who reject the initiation of force and those who agree to abide by the ethics of the non-aggression principle. Put your voluntarist ideas into action at liberty.menu. And if you use code FTL, you get a special Free Talk Live listener badge. We can't give you a discount because the site is free to use. So, well, we can give you this special badge. Again, liberty.menu. And use code FTL to get a special Free Talk Live listener badge.
So, Dr. Singh in North Carolina would like to offer MRIs for around $500. What a deal.
Yeah.
Vox's Sarah Cliff had gone around collecting emergency room bills and found that Americans can sometimes be charged $24,000 for the exact same thing. So Singh has attempted to do that, but as it turns out, he can't even apply. If the state has decided an area doesn't need a service, then other providers are barred from even applying for a permit. That's what Singh ran into. He wasn't allowed to apply to purchase a permanent MRI for his Winston-Salem Center. State officials had already decided it wasn't needed there.
All right, so hold the door.
You can't even apply.
For a moment, my head is having trouble understanding exactly. He needs a certificate of need.
Yes.
To purchase the MRI.
Right.
But some group of bureaucrats said, Dr. Singh, we're not even allowing you to apply.
Nope.
For this certificate that you need to buy the MRI, so therefore there's no way that you will ever be able to buy an MRI.
Correct. We've already determined there is no need, Daryl.
This is the government permission slip version of being arrested for resisting arrest.
Exactly.
You need a permit that we're not going to give you.
Right.
So go get in line for the permit that we don't have.
Exactly.
You're under arrest. For what? For saying that you're not coming with us for arrest.
Right. Even if he could apply, other providers in the area could contest his application. Singh's attorney estimated the entire process of applying for and defending a certificate of need can cost up to $400,000 and last as long as 3 years. A permanent MRI machine would cost Singh less than $750,000.
All right, so now we're looking at $1.2 million.
Yeah, just to defend
and 3 years.
If you could do it right. Quote, there's not been a single instant that it has gone uncontested, unquote. Renee Flaherty, one of Singh's attorneys from the Institute of Justice, told me. CON, or Certificate of Need, and CON is a great acronym for that.
Yeah.
CON laws started popping up in the 1960s, and in 1974, Congress made them more or less standard by linking federal funding to states adopting such a law. Louisiana was the only state that didn't. They were
something that the state of Louisiana did that was actually good, or in this case, something they decided not to do that turned out to be something good.
Con laws were well-intentioned with the goal of exercising strong oversight of new health care providers.
Well, you know what they say about that road to hell.
Yep. But lawmakers and policy experts found that, as much as anything, they stopped new competition from challenging existing monopolies hospitals have on certain healthcare services. Nicholas Bagley, a University of Michigan health law professor, told me certificate of need laws might have made sense back when healthcare was treated more like a public utility. But they make less and less sense under our current market-based healthcare ecosystem.
Now, this is one of those interesting sort of things about the way this article is written, to where
Fox,
you've got the Institute for Justice, which is a fairly libertarian-leaning organization.
Very much so.
That is helping this doctor fight these ridiculous laws. But then you have Vox basically saying, yeah, well, they don't make sense now, but they used to, and blah, 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 government's not exactly horrible.
They're giving us both sides of this. Again, he's a health law professor, University of Michigan, and he seems like he's hearkening back to the good old days when he feels that healthcare was treated like a public utility. That did not exist.
Well, nothing should be treated like a public utility.
Right. That's one of the worst possible things you could do to anything. But I'm telling you, healthcare, when I was very young, was not run like a public utility. It was run by people called doctors and nurses who you would go see, and when you saw them, you paid them.
Right.
That was it. When my parents would take us to the doctor or the dentist, the first thing they did was grab the checkbook because they were going to pay for everything right then and there.
Yeah, when I was 2 years old, sitting in Mama's, or actually standing on a chair in Mama's kitchen, watching her cook, and she saw that I was standing in a chair, and she turned around and said, "Daryl, you sit down before you fall out of that chair and crack your head wide open." And I sat down and then fell out of the chair and cracked my head wide open. She calls Dr. White, and he says, "Meet me at the office in 10 minutes.
Right.
You know, she grabbed Papa, and he drove over there. She's holding me, and Dr. White meets at the doctor's office and stitches my head up.
That was Papa and...
Mama and Papa.
Okay. I want people to realize...
The Southern listeners know exactly who I'm talking about.
Exactly. Daryl is from Alabama, and those words are not a result of the head injury he just described.
Right.
They're actually used in common
Everybody down south has a Mama and a Papa.
Okay. Again, Nicholas Bagley, quote, and it goes on to say, quote, "They imposed red tape, they slowed the adoption of new technologies, and they impair competition," unquote, he told me via email. The fact that they're still on the books in 2/3 of the states is a testament to the political power of entrenched players.
Right, and I just want to reiterate what this health law professor said about the certificate of need laws. He says, quote, "They impose red tape, they slow the adoption of new technology, and they impair competition." That could be said about every law.
Right. And the fact that they're still on the books in 2/3 of the states. Again, you have powerful lobbies that like these laws. They eliminate competition. That is, what more could you look... If you were to start any kind of business and say, man, if I could just get government to outlaw any competition for me, and no matter how screwed up I run it, I'd probably succeed and I'd probably make a boatload of money.
There's two ways that you can wind up ensuring that you're going to make a lot of money. You convince some group of politicians to outlaw your competition, or you convince that same group of politicians that everybody must buy your good or service.
Right. Right.
Car seats?
Pretty much
anyone?
Yeah.
Health insurance? Anyone? Vehicle insurance?
Right.
Anyone?
Don Taylor Jr., a healthcare professional at Duke University, offered a slightly different perspective. He allowed that North Carolina's law could be anti-competitive, specifically for MRIs, but he noted that there are concerns about unnecessary scans and if the rules are rolled back and about nixing them for other services.
Hold on. So what person just decides, you know what sounds good to me? I'm going to go get MRIs on body parts that don't hurt at all.
Well, the problem is in the existing system where insurance will cover things excessively and tort will cause doctors to just order every single possible test, and that's a shame.
Right, but that's because of regulation.
Exactly.
Not a lack thereof. Your calls and thoughts welcome. 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Have you experienced the miracle of CBDs? They can help you reduce suffering, reduce stress, help you sleep better, modulate inflammation in the body, and is absolutely safe. Meta Hemp Solutions offers a radically innovative approach to CBDs for exceptional results. Stop suffering and reduce your stress now. Isn't it time for a good night's sleep? Stop worrying about tomorrow today. Lab tested for potency, purity, and is non-psychoactive. Free shipping to all 50 states. Try our product risk-free. Money-back guarantee. Use code GCN15 to get 15% off. That's code GCN15 to get 15% off. Offer ends soon, so visit MetaHemp Solutions today at metahempsolutions.com or call 833-858-7500. Suffer no more. Get rid of the stress and sleep better. Get our product now at metahempsolutions.com. That's metahempsolutions.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org. Some of you asked, and now we've delivered. LRN.FM's live Keene, New Hampshire studio shows are now streamed in HD on Twitch. Visit our channel at twitch.lrn.fm and give it a follow. If you have Amazon Prime, you get one free subscription on Twitch. If you use it on our channel, Twitch will give LRN.FM a monthly piece of your Prime subscription cost. So please watch, follow, share, and subscribe to twitch.lrn.fm. That's twitch.lrn.fm.
You're listening to the live edition of Free Talk Live. Hour number 3 is next after the news here on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
From Keene in the Shire, the Liberty Media capital of the world, this is Daryl W. Perry, host of FPP Radio News for Thursday, August 9th, 2018. Silver is trading at $15.50 per ounce. Gold is valued at $1,216 per ounce. Zencash is trading at $21, and the average price of Bitcoin is $6,270. Antiwar.com reports in comments on Tuesday, State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert called on Russia to withdraw its military entirely from the two breakaway republics of South Ossetia and Abkhazia. The U.S. does not recognize the region's independence. The comments come 10 years after the brief Russo-Georgian War, during which Georgia attempted to attack South Ossetia, ending up fighting Russian troops therein and fairly quickly losing. In the aftermath, Russia recognized the independence of both countries. Both South Ossetia and Abkhazia have historical reasons for not considering themselves part of Georgia, despite nominally being part of the Georgian Soviet Socialist Republic during the Soviet era. The Georgians, however, never recognized this, and to the extent that Russia has, the U.S. has taken the opposite position. The regions are a long problem for Georgia, which has ambitions for joining NATO. NATO clearly would never accept anyone as a member state who has existing territorial disputes with Russia and accuses Russia of occupying parts of its territory, since this would mean an immediate NATO-Russia war. The State Department insists they support Georgia's territorial integrity, as including those regions, and to the extent that continues, it follows that Georgia would never be able to advance toward accession into NATO. Born into a devastating world and raised among the crowd, the Cloudwalker assumes a new identity and begins the unrelenting quest for truth. In this epic journey, he discovers dark secrets about aspects of his previous life that he once trusted. Through the Journal of the Cloudwalker, he shares both the traumatic hardships and the eternal beauties of his experiences. Fueled in the beginning by his unsettling thoughts and emotions, he learns how to find peace with everything he has woken up to. Dear Society by the Cloudwalker is available from Amazon.com and all major bookstores. UPI reports days after releasing an upbeat earnings report that included a rare jump in attendance and earnings, Orlando, Florida-based SeaWorld announced its plans to eliminate 125 positions. SeaWorld Entertainment said Tuesday the positions, some of which are currently vacant, will be cut across the company. Spokesman Travis Clater described the layoffs as being part of a restructuring program to better position it for continued growth and financial success. He added, for those employees who will be impacted by this restructure, we are offering several severance benefits, and transition assistance. We remain committed to providing our guests with inspiring experiences that matter and to continuing the world-class care for all our animals, including animal rescue, rehabilitation, and ocean conservation efforts. Despite the layoffs, SeaWorld offered a rare positive outlook for one of the first time since 2013. The net income for the quarter ending June 30th was $22.7 million, up from a net loss of $175.9 million during the same quarter in 2017. Are you tired of governments murdering people around the world? Stop using their money. There is an alternative. Bitcoin is a stateless, free market, non-political currency. Bitcoin cannot be inflated or controlled by any government. By using their money, you are helping the state. Stop doing it. You have an incredible alternative available now. Learn it, use it, spread it. Get started with Bitcoin at weusecoins.com. Reuters reports the New York City Council on Wednesday agreed to cap the number of licenses for ride-hailing services such as Uber and Lyft for 1 year, dealing a blow to the companies that have relied on the largest U.S. metro area for a major source of their revenue. The first such cap by any major U.S. city was part of a package of measures that also included setting a minimum wage for drivers. The package, opposed by major ride-hailing companies, is aimed at reducing traffic congestion and increasing driver paychecks in the wake of the explosive growth for for-hire vehicles. The drop in incomes has demoralized many drivers, and the New York Taxi Workers Alliance said there have been 6 suicides among cab and livery drivers in recent months. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio said he intends to sign the bill into law, which would start the 12-month period where no new for-hire vehicle licenses would be issued, with the exception for wheelchair-accessible vehicles. Via, which operates shared rides with established stops, hopes the city will make an exception for carpools, which it says reduces congestion and provides drivers with the most money. In an email to nearly 5 million New Yorkers last month, Uber said riders would face higher prices, longer wait times, and less service in the city's outer suburbs by drivers. This has been FPP Radio News. Online at fppradio.com.
It's The Onion Radio News. The nation's last remaining themeless restaurant has closed. This is Doyle Redland reporting. A once vibrant era came to an end today when Pat's Place, the nation's last themeless restaurant, closed its doors in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. During the heyday of themeless restaurants, Pat's Place achieved a certain amount of notoriety for its unique non-themed food items and unadorned atmosphere. But according to owner Patrick Baines, the times have changed.
Lately, we've had only a handful of people coming in to gawk at our posterless walls and mundanely named menu items like hamburgers or pancakes, and then they go someplace like the Rainforest Cafe or Johnny Rockets to actually eat.
Plans are now in the works to convert the Pat's Place location into Cedar Rapids' 7th Patty-O Touchdown Sports Bar and Good Time Internet Grill. Doyle Redland for The Onion Radio News, online at theonion.com.
This is The Onion News Network.
Free Talk Live.
This is Free Talk Live, kicking off hour number 3. In studio tonight, it's Daryl.
And Chris.
And you can call in and chat with us and bring up whatever is on your mind. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. We had been talking about a doctor down in North Carolina who ran into some problems with a certificate of need.
That's called a CON.
Yes, the abbreviation is CON.
And they use it frequently when they discuss these. And no, you need a CON if you want to do this.
Yeah, and even though he was told that he needed this certificate of need to be able to purchase an MRI so that he could open up an office and offer MRIs to people in the Winston-Salem area for about $500.
Yep.
He was also told that he was not allowed to even apply for a CON because, see, a group of people in Raleigh had determined that there are no more MRI machines that are needed.
No, there are plenty of places.
Winston-Salem.
Yeah, you can go to lots of hospitals, local hospitals, and get your $24,000 MRI from them.
Yeah, so we don't need any more MRI machines, so Dr. Singh, you can't even apply for the con that you need. Again, it's the bureaucratic equivalent of being arrested solely for resisting arrest.
And I love the fact that this doctor, who's got some cash behind him, he's talking about buying a $750,000 machine.
Yes.
$750,000 for an MRI, plus all the other equipment he'd need, plus all the other certifications and all that good stuff. The guy's obviously got some cash. He actually has his own surgery practice, too.
Right.
So he's not hurting. But he's challenging this. He's taking it to the... He's basically charging them with it's an unconstitutional law, and that's what he should do. He's going to fight this.
Yes.
He's got the fine folks at the Institute for Justice behind him.
Yeah, and this is something that I definitely want to try keeping an eye on.
Yep.
It's one of those things that I might not remember every week to check on, but the wheels of justice, they turn slowly.
There are these things called Google News Alerts, and this will be a good one to add to mine.
But IJ, the Institute for Justice, they wound up helping out in Arizona the ladies that were doing horse massage.
Right.
Where some bureaucrat said, "Oh, do you want to massage a horse? Well, you need both a veterinarian's license and a massage therapist license."
Yes.
Because you're doing massage on animals.
God forbid. I sometimes massage my cats. I wonder how many laws...
Are you admitting to breaking the law, Chris?
I wonder how many laws I may be violating by giving my cats a nice little massage every once in a while.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So, changing from one, fairly corrupt government to what appears to be another one.
I just love... This is my favorite word in this story.
Impeach?
Impeach. It's one of my favorites. I wish we used it more often.
Yeah, so we teased this at the beginning of the show. Chris, you've got a story out of West Virginia.
Yep.
Country roads. Take me home, something, John Denver. Apparently the entire West Virginia Supreme Court is getting impeached.
That's the hope. Well, at least that's my hope, and I'm sure a lot of other people. West Virginia House panel votes to impeach entire Supreme Court. This comes to us from NPR. See, we use lots of different news sources for our stories. West Virginia's House...
I don't know why so many libertarians, and I'm using the term very loosely there, a lot of libertarians seem to despise NPR. Is it because some of their funding is taxpayer funding?
Yeah.
Or is it because they, quote unquote, lean to the left?
Probably a little bit of both. So, they typically, a lot of their writing will... I would say it's more or less down the middle, but when it does lean, it tends to lean to the left. That's the first thing. And secondly, it is the National Public Radio Incorporated. This is a corporation that is partially funded through tax dollars, and people have an issue with that.
Right. I have an issue with that as well, but I'm not going to discount every piece of news that they put out as some kind of, something propaganda.
Right.
Which there are some people that, call themselves libertarian. I think they're actually conservatives, that they just want to discount anything that comes from any source that's not Fox News or InfoPlanet.
Right. That's like saying that everything the CNN puts forth is false.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A lot of people will feel that way. Again, approved on Tuesday afternoon. Well, actually, I didn't even get through the first sentence. West Virginia's House Judiciary Committee has adopted articles of impeachment against all 4 justices on the state's Supreme Court of Appeals, accusing the judges of a range of crimes and throwing the court's immediate future into disarray. Approved on Tuesday afternoon, the articles of impeachment recommend that the entire bench, Chief Justice Margaret Workman, Justice Alan Lowry, Justice Robin Davis, and Justice Elizabeth Walker be impeached for, quote, maladministration, corruption, incompetency, neglect of duty, and certain high crimes and misdemeanors, unquote. I wish I read this every day in headlines.
I'm curious if these judges didn't wind up yelling "Go Mountaineers" at the crack of dawn? Like, what was their incompetence, neglect of duty, and quote certain high crimes and misdemeanors?
We're going to get into it because there's a lot of it. By law, West Virginia has 5 Supreme Court justices who are elected to 12-year terms. But the bench was reduced to 4 in July when Justice Manus Ketchum resigned, abruptly announcing his retirement just as impeachment proceedings were set to begin.
Manus Ketchum. Doesn't that sound like like a cartoon villainous corrupt sheriff?
I'm good with that. I'm trying to keep this from straying into West Virginia jokes.
Manus Ketchum. I'm the sheriff around here. We gonna catch him. We gonna catch him. We gonna catch him good.
Many of the articles take aim at Lowry, whom a federal grand jury indicted in June on a number of serious charges that included fraud, witness tampering, and lying to federal investigators. The investigation into Lowry centered on his use of official vehicles, the expensive renovation of his Supreme Court office, and his moving of a valuable and historic, quote, Cass Gilbert desk from a Capitol building to his home office.
What is a Cass Gilbert desk?
To Google. We will Google that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to Google this, and while we figure out what a Cass Gilbert desk is and all of the other high crimes and misdemeanors of the West Virginia Supreme Court, let's go to New Mexico, where we've got Sarah calling in. Sarah, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, so the last year here in New Mexico, so our auto-related accident fatalities was more than all of the violent crimes combined. So
okay.
I think we had Albuquerque. We had 47th homicide this year, believe it or not.
It's good. That's pretty low.
Suicide. I mean, we're talking about just Albuquerque, and I'm talking about the whole New Mexico is probably about maybe 70 or 80, who knows. And we have a lot of suicide by gun shooting. I don't know what the actual number is. But even all of that, as I have always said, our auto-related fatalities numbers excel all the violent crimes.
So, Sarah, I'm going to ask once again, and I've asked you this question numerous times, is the solution here to just prohibit cars from existing?
Well, you know something? We're doing a lot of hawk lights, a lot of road designs here.
Yeah, that was not my question.
Should they?
Do you want to ban cars, yes or no?
No, we need cars. We do.
Thank you for the call. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733.
Ike was such a sweet, lovable animal, and people would want to pet him, and they'd come up, and they'd get close to him, and it would be this instant, oh! My dad didn't want to touch him. It's like, ooh, get the stinky dog away from me.
Even after we'd give her a bath, she would still stink.
Very stinky, both bad breath and bad gas. I asked the vet, and he said some dogs are just stinky.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dinovite for help.
DINOVITE.com.
The omega-3 fatty acids.
Flaxseed, zinc, alfalfa.
The digestive enzymes that are cooked out of regular dog food.
The ingredients convinced me that it was definitely worth trying. After about a week, he started smelling normal. My husband and I were really kind of astonished.
Dinovite is nutrition.
859-428-1000.
DINOVITE.com.
What's more profitable, running your business or doing bookkeeping? Doing your business, of course, but you want to keep your books so that you can maximize your tax savings, right? What if I told you that there's a person that's a bookkeeper, accountant, and law school graduate that's also a hardcore libertarian?
My name is Melanie Johnson, and I hate the state. I will aggressively help you to minimize your tax exposure and maximize profits, all while staying within the law.
Melanie's your best choice for your taxes and bookkeeping needs. Go to tax.freetalklive.com and check out our website, tax.freetalklive.com.
The Bitcoin.com wallet is a simple and powerful, full-featured wallet that allows you to send and receive Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH, with anyone, anywhere in the world. It supports both single and multi-signature wallets and is available in multiple languages. The Bitcoin.com wallet is available on Windows, Linux, Mac, Android, and iOS devices. Use the Bitcoin.com wallet to buy, send, store, and receive both Bitcoin, BTC, and Bitcoin Cash, BCH. Learn more at wallet.bitcoin.com. That's wallet.bitcoin.com.
Because we are smothering in spam, please do not reply to all when you can instead reply. I was recently among over 100 invited to a corporate reunion. It's always a warm affair, and that's the problem. Enthusiasm for our upcoming get-together caused many recipients to RSVP the organizer with a cheery reply to all. I can't wait. Then others piled on with a reply to all to that. Then the "I'm out of my office now" autoresponders joined in. So I replied to all, asking that we all reply only to the organizer. Hey, at least I tried. One invitee, apparently retired, shot back, "Point taken, but I really like seeing the responses since they're so positive." Smiley face. This better be an open bar. From survivalspeech.com, I'm Holland Cook.
Here's a chance to do a little activism while you're cruising Facebook, Twitter, or Google+. Between the LOL cats, the recipes, the hot girls, and the inspirational sunrise memes, Free Talk Live's posts pass by your newsfeed. Like them, comment. It gives us more exposure. If you don't see our posts, click like at facebook.freetalklive.com and then hover over it to click Get Notifications. It's an easy way to spread the ideas of liberty a bit further. I know you're busy, but you can spare that 1/10 of a calorie it takes to click on something. Facebook.freetalklive.com.
How many lawyers does it take to change a light bulb? None. They'd rather keep their clients in the dark. There are too many lawyer jokes to count. However, there are some lawyers with more noble intentions. At the Institute for Justice, we bring the light to our clients. We are a non-profit public interest law firm with clear values and principles. At IJ, we fight for those whose most basic rights are denied by the government. Visit our website today at ij.org.
If you enjoy LRN.FM, please contribute to your favorite shows via their websites and become an amplifier at amp.lrn.fm. That's amp.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855 450 free 855 450 3733. That is the toll-free call-in line. That's how you can call in and join us and talk about whatever is on your mind. The us in studio tonight is Daryl
and Chris,
and we've been talking about the West Virginia Supreme Court apparently all facing impeachment after some legislative committee there in the Mountain State put forth articles of impeachment recommending that the entire bench be impeached for maladministration, corruption, incompetency, neglect of duty, and certain high crimes and misdemeanors. We were getting into that. We'll get back into that, plus your calls and thoughts. But first, want to tell you about Bitcoin.com. Now, yes, it's a good site to go to learn about Bitcoin. Get all kinds of news about other cryptocurrencies as well, but they want you to know about SaveAtPurse.com. And the reason they want you to know about SaveAtPurse.com is that SaveAtPurse.com is now directly accepting Bitcoin Cash, BCH. They had been accepting Bitcoin, BTC, for, well, ever since they've been around. And they had been accepting some of what are referred to as alternative currencies or altcoins using Shapeshift. They got rid of the Shapeshift integration not too terribly long ago and started taking Bitcoin Cash directly, BCH. SaveAtPurse.com allows you to save 5, 10, 15, 20% or more on things that you were going to buy anyway through Amazon. SaveAtPurse.com. Let's go to the Discord call-in line where we've got Kraz calling in. Kraz, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah, so I just want to get an opinion on the blacks. You know, I think they should be put back into slavery.
Well, wow, that's absolutely horrible. And no, we don't support anyone being enslaved at all.
Nah.
Slavery is bad.
And we occasionally get some crank callers like that one, or people that just identify with some really crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Daryl, I don't really think that slavery was a good thing. I'm kind of glad we did away with it. I don't agree with the means that we did go with a whole civil war that killed 750,000 Americans. I didn't like that part.
Yeah.
But I know
then even the war didn't even necessarily end slavery.
Oh, it certainly did.
It wound up being the 15th Amendment?
Yes.
Or
Yes.
13th. Well, one of those two.
Yeah.
13th, 14th, and 15th were
Those
all
are
passed about the same time.
Yeah, the
and,
Reconstruction amendments, yes.
So those were the things that actually wound up eliminating slavery, and I'm using air quotes there because it still allows for slavery to exist in certain cases, and the California Fire organization that is just referred to as CAL FIRE, they were actually bragging recently about the use of slave labor to wind up fighting some of those forest fires out in California.
Right.
Now, they didn't call it slave labor. They said volunteer inmates.
Yes.
Inmates.
Volunteering, yes.
That their options are basically, do you want to go fight this fire or go to solitary confinement? Oh, and when you get out of jail or prison, don't actually go apply for a job at the fire department because you've got a criminal record and we're not allowing them to hire you.
Can't really do that.
Yeah, go fight this fire.
Yeah.
You brave slave.
Exactly.
No, slavery is horrible in whatever form.
Yep. So in addition to doing away with things like that, we need to get rid of selective service too, which is another form of slavery. I hate to break that to you, people who think, well, everybody ought to do a few years in the military. No. If somebody else is picking your occupation for you, making you do it, even regardless of your objections or threatening you with it, that violates any ideas of liberty. We're going to hop back into this story.
Hold on. Before we do, what about jury duty?
Agreed. Also slavery.
Yeah, and did you hear the
mild
story?
form.
It's very mild,
It's
and it's only like
inconvenience.
one day, maybe.
Could be months.
If you're unlucky, then
Could be
it's
months, yeah.
Months. Do you remember the story? And I forget where it was from, but there was some municipality somewhere. They had a shortage of jurors, and so the sheriff's deputies went around just grabbing people off of the sidewalk
Go
from
round
whatever
them
they
up.
were doing.
Yeah.
And no, you're coming with me. No, you can't go to work.
Yeah.
No.
We need you for jury duty.
See this? This says sheriff's deputy, and we need you for jury duty, so you're coming with us now.
Yep. Under threat of force, and that's how these things work. It's sad.
Yeah, let's go back to the phones, and we will get back into this
rush.
article. But first to David calling in from New Mexico. David, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thought.
Yes, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yes, you're calling in from New Mexico. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I think you mispronounced Kraz's name. I think that was Crazy. And
you may be right.
Protect Livery. The atomic bomb. Several days ago, 73 years ago, my cousin's bomb blew up Hiroshima. And 73 years ago today, Ernest Orlando Lawrence, my cousin, Nobel Prize winner physics, for being the first person to split the atom, smash the atom, for his invention of the atom smasher, a.k.a. cyclotron, a.k.a. particle accelerator, a.k.a. collider, of which CERN super collider is an end result. Yeah. Anyway, Ernest Orlando Lawrence, like I said, he's my cousin, and he, bit of history. He was born in South Dakota. His family came 2 generations before him, his grandparents came from Norway, and they settled in middle of nowhere in Indian country in South Dakota, and his parents were high school teachers, then university teachers there, and he went there and then went to the University of Minnesota and then Chicago, and then out, I think he was at Princeton for a while, and then he went out to California. Lawrence Livermore Lab is named after him. It's a weapons lab now. And like I said, he with literally $20 worth of materials, he built the first atom smasher, and he used that equipment combined with some spectrography, however you say it, if I'm saying it correctly, equipment, that he merged the two types of equipment in order to use that machinery to refine uranium into fissile material that went into the all of the bombs in the first test, and then the ones that went into.
So was he happy with his invention that wound up killing a bunch of people?
Well, I know that ultimately, after he died, his wife was unhappy enough with that she tried to get the family name removed from Lawrence Livermore Lab.
Wow. Thank you for the call, your calls and thoughts. Welcome, 855-450-FREE. This is Free Talk Live.
Hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Jessica Armand, founder of My Magic Mud. Our team helped organize a successful effort to remove fluoride from our city's water supply. This is our passion. My Magic Mud Oral Care purifies and brightens your smile naturally. GCN listeners, please support my family business by purchasing our products from your local health food store. We're also available at CVS Pharmacy, or visit us at mymagicmud.com and take 10% off now with coupon code GCN10.
Free Talk Live.
When you call a government bureaucracy, more often than not, the person who you talk to will not know the answer to your question, but they'll tell you they think they know who the person is that has the answer, and they will pass the buck to that other person, and if they happen to pick up the phone, they'll usually pass on the buck, or you'll leave a voicemail and never hear back from anybody.
Right. I mean, I wasn't being rude as a PSA at all. The third person I talked to, she was getting pretty hot under the collar. It's like, what are you being so angry for? I'm just asking regular questions any person would.
Well, she's probably upset that she had to pick up her phone and talk to one of the little peons like you.
She's probably annoyed at her underlings who actually gave you her phone number and let you get through to her.
Yeah, that's probably the case. She just wants to play solitaire, and you interrupted her game, or she just wants to surf on the internet, and you just ruined her day.
Free Talk Live, 7 nights a week from 7 to 10 Eastern, live on the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
Radio is the most personal of mediums. I exist right now in your head. If you listen to Free Talk Live regularly, you know me. Free Talk Live is on more than 160 radio stations around the U.S. and has been downloaded on every continent around the world. Hundreds of thousands of listeners with ad packages from $600 a month to $6,000 a month. Imagine what we can do for your business, project, website, or idea. Email me, mark@freetalklive.com.
So you've heard all 3 hours of the latest episode of Free Talk Live, and you're still hungry for liberty-oriented audio content? Did you know that we have another 24/7 audio stream at LRN.FM? The Liberty Radio Network airs the latest episodes of some of the best liberty-oriented podcasts on the internet around the clock. In addition to recorded content, you'll also hear live shows like Free Talk Live, originating from our Keene, New Hampshire studio. So listen anytime at LRN.FM. That's LRN.FM. Is spreading the message of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace around the globe worth $2 per month to you? As you may already know, in addition to our internet feed, LRN.FM broadcasts on free-to-air satellite across North and Central America, as well as Sub-Saharan Africa. And we've been available on satellite for free 24/7 since 2010. The LRN.FM free-to-air satellite signal is reaching some of the most oppressive regimes in the world, and there's no doubt our ideas are making an impact. You can learn more about the channel's impact by watching the 3-minute video at fund.lrn.fm. If you'd like to help free minds globally with our ideas of liberty, cryptocurrency, and peace, you can donate as little as $2 per month via fund.lrn.fm. You can help us continue and expand our satellite broadcast to multiple continents. Visit fund.lrn.fm today, and thank you for your help. Don't forget to share the link on social media. That's fund.lrn.fm.
Join the LRN.FM Discord for live chat 24/7 at discord.lrn.fm. That's discord.lrn.fm.
This is Free Talk Live. 855-450-FREE. That's 855-450-3733. That's how you can call in and join us and bring up whatever is on your mind. The us in studio tonight is Daryl.
And Chris.
And want to invite you, if you like the show, join the AMP program. AMP is short for Advertise, Market, and Promote. And your $5 per month helps us wind up doing those three things: advertising, marketing, and promoting the show, not only to prospective listeners, but also to program directors. Those are the people at the terrestrial radio stations that wind up making the decision to add us onto more stations. We're currently on about 190. I think we're just over. The number fluctuates a little bit. Every now and then get added to one or two and then get dropped from one or two for various reasons. But we could very easily be on 250 or 300 radio stations, and your AMP dollars help us wind up doing that. amp.freetalklive.com. And it's not just you giving us money. There are perks. There's an AMP-only room in the Discord, I think. There's an AMP-only Facebook group. There's emails that are specifically for amplifiers, plus probably the best part for some of the amplifiers is the ad-free version of the podcast.
Nice.
Which we put the podcast out for free anyway, but the regular podcast does have some ads in it. The AMP version does not have those. amp.freetalklive.com. We'll get back into the story from West Virginia in just a moment, but first to the Discord, where we've got Big Ben from Canada calling in. Big Ben, you're on Free Talk Live. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Hey, have you guys paid attention to the Tommy Robinson at all?
I haven't much.
I'm aware that the guy wound up getting arrested for some kind of contempt of court for attempting to film a trial that he didn't have permission to film, and somehow he's been made out to be some kind of free speech martyr.
Yeah. Do you have an update?
Yeah, well, he was recently let out because in appeals, it was determined that the trial proceeded too quickly, which the trial was held the same day he was arrested. And so he spent 40 days in prison, in a Muslim majority prison, which he's a outspoken critic of Islam. And he basically starved himself in order to avoid his food being poisoned by the inmates. But they are appealing the decision, and they set a new trial date again. And,
who's appealing the decision? He's appealing the decision to be released, or the British government?
The government is appealing the decision of having him released based on the procedural error during the original.
Of course they're appealing that. They always wind up appealing decisions that say that they did something wrong.
Right.
Is that surprising that they would wind up appealing this?
No, I just found it. I was wondering what you guys thought, because you guys have shown to be more, at least, sympathetic to Muslims, but this guy was filming outside of a trial of Muslim human beings. So.
Wasn't it alleged pedophiles? That's what the trial
There have
was.
been a bunch
Yeah.
of allegations about various things.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what the trial was that he was
Yeah.
trying to film. And Big Ben,
Supposedly.
thank you for the call.
I just want to get my own feelings out here a little bit because I've heard that, Free Talk Live is sympathetic to Muslims and things like that. I tolerate good people and I don't tolerate bad people.
Right.
And that doesn't matter what religion you happen to be. If you're Christian, like I happen to be, or you're Muslim, you're going to fit into pretty much one of two categories. And I
Right.
realize there's some shades of gray in there. Now, Tommy Robinson's kind of interesting, just the story, because he is very much an alt-right kind of guy, and Free Talk Live has some history with some people that turned into alt-right kind of guys.
And that's alt-right with a clearly defined T, not an all-right.
All right. Yeah, but I think the question in the Tommy Robinson case to me is it's about whether somebody has a right to do things and say things that are unpopular. And I have no standing in saying one way or the other because this isn't even our country. This is things that happen in England.
Now,
And-
to answer the last question about, what do you think about the Muslims? Well, I have some friends that are Muslim. I also have some friends that are Christians. I have some friends that are atheist.
Right.
And as long as you're somebody that's going to respect me and respect my rights and not try to force me to live by whatever strange ideology you may have, I'm fine.
Yep, I agree with that.
I've known more people that call themselves Christians that want to enforce their views on me than I have met atheists that want to enforce their views on me or Muslims that want to enforce their views on me.
Well, it's easy for me to say because the majority of people that I've met in my life have been Christian because I've lived in the United States my whole life and I've never really lived in huge, massive metropolitan areas with huge populations of anything.
Right.
But, and if you're using violence, that's abhorrent.
Right.
And if that can be in the form of unfair taxation. It can be theft. It can be requiring people to do certain jobs and slavery, like we've just been discussing.
Right.
Talking about jury duty and selective service and things like that. But it can also be blowing up a building, or it
Right.
can be blowing up an airplane, or it can be doing whatever you want.
Right. This is one of the problems that comes with trying to collectivize, which a lot of people want to do. They'll
Right.
say, well, this person, which is part of this group, did this thing, so therefore everybody in that group did the thing. Florida man.
Right.
Just do a Google search or Bing or whatever search engine of your choice and type in quotes, Florida man. And you will see all kinds of horrible things and strange that have been done by Florida man. That doesn't mean that everybody from Florida is addicted to meth and has sold tickets to heaven.
Right. Yeah. And you can apply that to absolutely any group.
Right.
There are a lot of serial killers that were probably white Anglo-Saxon Protestants.
Yes.
That went to church
dressed up
regularly.
like clowns.
That dressed up like clowns and killed lots of people. That
Looking
does
at
not
you,
mean
John Wayne
that.
Gacy.
Yeah, exactly. But that doesn't paint everybody, and I really, it drives me nuts when people try to paint huge groups of people with a broad brush, and it's just not that way.
When Timothy McVeigh blew up the Oklahoma City Murrah building.
Right.
Nobody wound up saying all Christians are terrorists because Timothy McVeigh blew up a building.
Right. All those, it's those white people again. Yeah. I mean, nobody says that. Nobody thought that. And I'm sure there are certain people that probably did, but taking that approach is as ridiculous as saying that all Muslims are just out to kill you.
There are
man.
a billion people on this planet that follow some version of Islam. If they were all as violent as some people think they are, there would only be 1 billion people on this planet.
Right. And this is a slice in time, folks. What you're seeing is religions today, and religions today change and evolve. And Christianity certainly has had its points that it's not proud of.
The Dark Ages.
Yeah.
They're called the Dark Ages for a reason, because they don't want you to know about the history.
Right, but you can look at Seventh-day Adventists. You can look at, the Mormons, and you can also find these little periods where they regret, what did we do that for? That was not really good.
Speaking of people doing things that they regret, let's talk about the West Virginia Supreme Court and the 4 remaining members being brought up with articles of impeachment by some legislative committee in West Virginia for maladministration, corruption, incompetency, neglect of duty, and certain high crimes and misdemeanors involving taking some desks that look like just regular desks. This is Free Talk Live, 855-450-FREE, 855-450-3733.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynavite for help. Order a 90-day supply of Dynavite. Pick up 2 bottles of Lico Chops, get the 3rd bottle free. New improved Lico Chops with Omega-6, Omega-3, Vitamin E, and now 6 extra direct-fed microbials. Even better for the digestive tract and immune system. And dogs love it. Try Lico Chops. Buy 2, get 1 free. This is Henry Lukasevic for Dynavite.
DINOVITE.com.
Are you a cryptocurrency advocate? The Crypto Tip is the ideal outreach tool to help new people discover cryptocurrency. It's a printable business card-sized tip that you can give to service providers, preferably in addition to a good cash tip. When the server scans the QR code, it'll bring up an explanation of cryptocurrency, how to install a wallet, and allow them to claim the tip. If they don't claim the crypto, you get your tip refunded to you after a time period you specify. Plus, if they do claim the tip, you get an email alert. Create as many tips as you want at cryptotip.org. That's cryptotip.org.
Normal blood pressure, naturally. How would that make you feel?
I'm Don from New Mexico. January of 2000, I had a heart attack. Then my real health began going downhill. I had high blood pressure, diabetes, poor vision. I wasn't sleeping well. I was a mess.
Don reports dramatic improvements with Heart and Body Extract.
I started taking Heart and Body Extract. From within a few days, I started sleeping better. My blood pressure normalized. My diabetes normalized. My sleep improved.
Experience these benefits and more when your body heals itself with the assistance of Heart and Body Extract. Order at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305. That's hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305.
And folks, I did not expect this at all. By the 7th, 8th, and 9th day, I saw dramatic improvements from taking Heart and Body Extract.
Heart and Body Extract comes with a 100% ironclad money-back guarantee. Details at hbextract.com or call 866-295-5305 for Heart and Body Extract.
I've been told no in many different ways.
I give you an order and you're going to obey it.
Who told you can go this way?
You can't do that and you have to leave here.
You cannot bring signs into the rally.
Walk with me.
Well,
I'm comfortable here, actually. Whoa, Hey, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
There is no video and audio allowed in this office.
No, I have work today.
You ain't gonna make it.
Wait a minute.
Hey! Oh my God! Unbelievable!
Why are you running from me? Because you're scared me. What am I being detained for?
You're being served.
What is this?
You're being served.
What is this? Bureaucrats have a funny way of telling people no.
That's the sound of the men working on the chain.
Derek J's Victimless Crime Spree. Watch it for free and order the Director's Cut DVD at victimlesscrimespree.com.
LRN.FM is proud to announce our official listening apps for Android and iOS devices. Now you can easily tune into our streams anywhere, anytime on your smartphone or tablet. Just visit apps.lrn.fm or search for LRN.FM in the Android or Apple app stores. Please download, rate us 5 stars, then share the link on your social media and let your friends and family know how you're listening to LRN.FM. Download it now, free at apps.lrn.fm.
This Your Family Today tip is brought to you by Nestle Toll House Morsels, helping you create special moments and memories your family will cherish forever. Visit us at tollhouse.com. You may bake for birthdays and holidays, but why stop there? Sweeten up the rest of the year by designating monthly dessert days. Treat your family to one of their favorites or surprise them with something new. Either way, you'll create a tradition everyone will love. For more tips like these, visit us at parenthood.com/yourfamilytoday.
You're listening to the best liberty-oriented audio streamed around the clock, on the air, and online. This is the Liberty Radio Network at LRN.FM.
This is Free Talk Live, and there's possibly time for you and your thoughts if you call in now to 855-450-FREE. 855-450-3733. In studio, it's Daryl.
And Chris.
And not too long after we go off the air tonight, I will go to bed and get some sleep. And I'll sleep better with My Pillow. That's the name of it. My Pillow. And Chris, you have one as well.
I do.
You've been using it for several years. I've been using mine for about 2.5, I think.
Nice.
And the My Pillow is designed to help you get a good night's sleep. It's designed to fit to your body, keep your head and neck in a proper position, and make sure that you wind up getting some of that quality sleep. Because when it comes down to sleep, it's not how much you get, it's the quality of it. Now, yes, you still need recommended 7 to 9 hours per night. Some people like to think that they can function on 4, but there have been studies showing that no, 4 hours of sleep per night over long periods of time is as bad for you as no sleep over 3 days.
I don't buy it, Daryl.
And I can send you the studies.
I believe it.
And
I live on about 3 hours of sleep a night. I have for 20 years.
The My Pillow, you have 60 days to try it out with nothing to lose. Go to mypillow.com. Get 2 My Pillow premium pillows for one low price, and get free shipping on all orders when you use promo code FTL, as in Free Talk Live. And remember, if you don't like the My Pillow, you have 60 days to return it for a refund of your purchase price. mypillow.com, promo code FTL.
And I will say those 3 or 4 hours of sleep I get a night on mypillow.com, on My Pillow, are comfortable. I do appreciate that.
They are good. It's that quality sleep.
It is.
Generally.
It is.
So let's talk about something that's not quality, and that would be the West Virginia Supreme Court that might cease to exist.
Yeah. So we talked about how West Virginia has 5 Supreme Court justices. However, Justice Manus Ketchum resigned, which...
We gonna catch him.
Now we got 4.
Catch them all.
The 14 newly adopted articles accused all of the justices of overspending to remodel their offices and of failing to properly execute their administrative duties. Except for Walker, they were also accused of paying retired senior status judges more than the law allowed. Quote, "This is a truly sad day for West Virginia, but it is an important step forward if we are going to restore the public's confidence in the judiciary," unquote, said Judiciary Committee Chairman John Schott, a Republican. The full House is slated to vote on the impeachment articles next Monday. If approved, they would then move to the Senate. The next step would be for the Senate to hold a trial.
And I'm guessing that the process in West Virginia is very similar to the federal process.
It sounds like it,
where
yes.
the House winds up impeaching, but then the Senate would remove from office.
Correct.
And if the Senate fails to remove from office, then there are certain powers, I think, that wind up being stripped.
Maybe.
But they're still seated.
Yeah. A way to think of this is the House, whether this is West Virginia or whether it's the U.S. government, sort of acts as a grand jury.
Yes.
Determine whether there is enough evidence to warrant a trial, and if so...
You've been indicted.
You've been indicted, you've been impeached, and if you have been impeached, then you go before the Senate.
Yes.
As for how the bench would be filled if any justices are removed or resign, David Mistich of West Virginia Public Broadcasting reports that next Tuesday, August 14th, is the deadline for arranging a special election for November. After that, it would fall to the governor to appoint any new justices. Because Ketchum retired well before the deadline, his seat is up for a special election this fall. The timing of Tuesday's vote to approve the impeachment articles after a month of hearings and 1 week before the August 14th deadline was quickly criticized by Democrats. Quote,
hold on. So if they're saying that the vote was 1 week prior, then this seems to be off because this article was published on August 8th, and 8 is 1 week prior to 14. So it sounds like they either voted earlier this week or they're voting the day before the deadline.
Or they are counting business days or something like that that may reduce a couple out of
13 is 1 day prior to 14.
The timing of Tuesday's vote to approach to approve the impeachment articles after a month of hearings and 1 week before so Tuesday they approved Tuesday, and Tuesday would have been what? The 7th.
Okay.
And 1 week before the August 14th deadline.
Right, but earlier up it mentioned something about voting on Monday of next week.
Yeah.
So they've either miscalculated something or misstated something in here that's causing some confusion.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say there's probably more interesting things in this article than you and I quibbling over the dates that the reporter
let's
may
continue.
have got wrong. It's a coup, said Delegate Barbara Evans Fleshauer, a Democrat who is in the Judiciary Committee's minority chair. She added, quote, "They're dragging this out all summer long, and suddenly they put this on the agenda," unquote. Fleshauer told NPR that she sees the timing of the impeachment as a ploy to allow Governor Jim Justice, a former Democrat who is now a Republican, to appoint the majority of the justices on the state's highest court. Any new justices would then serve until the next election in 2 years' time, she said. Schott has denied that any political maneuvering was at work, telling the Charleston Gazette-Mail, quote, "Especially in an election year, there's going to be people who will spin it. However, it creates the most advantage to them. That's just part of the process," unquote.
So according to the West Virginia legislative website, they voted this past Tuesday.
Right.
The committee voted this past Tuesday. Right. The full legislature votes on Monday.
Got it. Okay,
so
that makes sense.
Confusion of both dates being cited, and then both things were votes.
Right.
One was just a committee, one is the full legislature. So the full legislature is voting the day before the deadline.
Right, for impeachment.
Yes.
Or against impeachment. In 2015, West Virginia voted to make its Supreme Court elections nonpartisan, but all of the current justices have been affiliated with the two main parties, and at the start of the year, the bench's unofficial makeup was 3-2 in favor of the Democrats. Lowry won an office as a Republican. Walker ran as a Republican in 2008 before being elected in a nonpartisan vote in 2016. Both Workman and Davis were elected as Democrats, as was Ketchum. Fleshauer and Schott also differ on the nature of the charges involved. While Fleshauer says she views the charges against Lowry as serious, she thinks the charges against the other three justices are, quote, "a lot different," unquote, and don't warrant impeachment charges.
What do they warrant then?
Yeah, that's the point. And when
if they're overpaying, retired judges for work,
right?
If they're using, money, shall we say, fraudulently to renovate their offices, if they're stealing office furniture,
call it what you like. I'm sorry you don't think that. If you think that those are okay things for public officials to do, move to Cook County, Illinois.
Well, she's saying they don't warrant impeachment. It's bad.
It's bad.
That they should be punished, but they shouldn't be impeached and they shouldn't go to jail.
Right. Give them a slap on the wrist and send them.
No.
Send them back next year.
I will agree with one thing. They should not go to jail. What should happen? They should be removed from office, and as part of their punishment, they should be required to work a minimum wage job,
or make restitution.
They can do that while working a minimum. They've made a lot of money as judges,
right?
Go work a minimum wage job. Work at McDonald's,
right?
Because going to jail is too good for these people.
I don't disagree with that.
Because going to jail means that you and I, well, not you and I, because we don't live in West Virginia, but the regular people of West Virginia would then still be forced to pay for these people to exist. They would be paying their food, their housing, their clothing.
Right.
These people should be forced to survive on their own.
Right. But I won't tell them what kind of job to get.
I will.
On that, you and I disagree.
Right, and the only reason I would say that as a punishment for these type of people,
right?
They've never worked real jobs in their life.
Well,
they've existed.
You're probably right.
Solely on taxpayers their entire life.
But if you agree with me, the part of this should be restitution for all their high crimes and misdemeanors, whatever monies owed back to the taxpayers of West Virginia. I don't care if they get jobs as high-end lawyers. I just want every cent of it. 90% of it.
Yeah.
They can have minimum wage after that. Whatever.
We'll agree to disagree on this minor point.
We do.
Yeah, every now and then. We're out of time for tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, and we are always online at freetalklive.com. Free Press Publications is an independent, alternative media and publishing company founded in June 2009 with the mission of ensuring a free press for the freedom movement and is committed to spreading the message of peace, freedom, love, and liberty. FPP also gives new